a class where you are opportuned to be educated. You know, northern Nigeria is of two types. You have the people that don't trust education. They'd rather send their children to Almajiri. Boko is haram. And then you have the other side that they don't care about religion. They don't care about culture because they are mostly British raised. Those are the first people that were the British educated. So they don't care about religion anymore, but they can't say it out loud. Mostly they are secularists and atheists, but they don't say it. But you would know if you grew up in the north, they live in the GRA where there are no mosques, they don't pray, they drink their alcohol in their privacy, stuff like that. They are mostly academicians. So I was unique because I came from a family that trusted both sides, because my father is that kind of, you could say, Muslim brotherhood stuff. So he felt that the best way.
You just cut off.
I cut off?
Okay, now we can hear you.
Okay. So my father thought the best way to, when the jihad comes, the best way to help Islam is to be educated. You can't fight jihad with bow and arrow and swords. You have to know how to fly helicopters, how to fire your own guns, or maybe make your own things. So I was educated in that kind of thinking that when I am needed, if I'm in the military, then I'm needed. If I'm a doctor or a pilot, if my religion needs me, that's when I'll be very handy for the cause. And I finished Hassan Ibrahim Gurzo in Kano, which is a Muslim-only secondary school. Only Muslims are allowed, even though it's a science school. And before then, I was educated in this Saudi-sponsored, Ali bin Abi Talib is Saudi-sponsored. Saudi Arabia sends money for education, but not for every Nigerian, just for.
You cut off again?
Okay.
Okay, now we can.
Okay. The Shiites get their money from Iran, you know, so Sunnis get their money from Saudi Arabia, stuff like that. So much later in life, as I understood science, I realized that a lot of things don't make sense. And I became agnostic. From skepticism, I became an agnostic. And then in my teenage years, I'm sure I am not practicing Islam unless if pressured upon or nudged upon, mostly by friends and peers. When there's time for prayer, you know, Islam is self-monitoring. Everybody monitors. So I was just there practicing because I am among friends, you know, when the time for prayer comes, everybody will ask you to come and join and you join. But by the time I was in university, AB's area, I realized that I can't really belong to this culture.
What is going on? Ṣó kọ́ọ̀tì wà dànù ni? Ẹgbọ́n kí nìyẹn kọ́ọ̀tì wà dànù ni o. Oh God. Àwọn èèyàn tap kí ló dé? Why? Oh my God. Kí ló dé? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? A ti ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí.
Oh God.
A ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ̀rọ̀ ni. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ àfi wẹ́lọ́?
Kí ló ń wá káàkiri gan náà kán fi wálẹ̀?
Ìwọ Ọlọ́run bàbá wa.
Àwọn ẹbí òkùnkùn Nàìjà ni o tí o fẹ́.
Ìwọ Ọlọ́run bàbá wa. Kí ló wá ṣẹlẹ̀ tó báyìí?
Flagging ni.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ̀yin bíbù yìí.
Data boy.
Mo dẹ̀ ń wọlé pé what is going on? Data boy, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Àmọ̀dáre o. No be juju be this ni.
Ṣé èsì bọ̀bọ̀ amúgbó yẹn ló lọ ṣiṣẹ́ ìwà ẹ̀?
Kò yé mi o. Àfi kálọ́. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká tap please and please. Ẹ jẹ́ ká send the gift wọlé ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run please. Àti ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ program.
Mo rò pé àtọ̀dọ̀ mi ni.
Ọ̀dọ̀ yín kọ́.
Mo ṣáà wá ara mi káàkiri.
Àwọn bíbù yìí ni ẹ jọ̀ọ́ torí Ọlọ́run. Ẹ jẹ́ ká da love bolẹ̀. Ẹ bá wa invite Bala padà, please. What is going on? F1 4444, please. Ẹ jẹ́ ká send the gift wọlé ẹ jọ̀ọ́ torí Ọlọ́run. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ data boy, ayé yín ò wù mí o. Ti wà ní nìkan. Ẹ ti ẹ̀ tí mo kọ́ tó fẹ́ sọ. Ẹ ti ẹ̀jẹ̀ gẹ́lẹ́dẹ̀ pẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́ náà. Ẹ má jẹ́ káyà, kí ló jẹ́ káyà yín já gan? Àdéhùn àti bàbá yín àtẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ẹ̀kan yóò balẹ̀. Nísìnyí. Àtẹ̀yìn àti bàbá yín ẹ̀ nísinmi láyé ẹ̀ nísinmi lọ́rùn ìsinmi ò jẹ́ ti yín. Ó ga o. Àfi wẹ́lọ́.
Jẹ́ ń try láti pè bóyá wọ́n ti block yẹn.
Hey. Wọ́n ń bẹ lórí social media yìí. Ìkan bẹ lórí social media yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tap, ẹ jẹ́ ká send the gift wọlé, please and please. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́. Ká dẹ̀ show love, please. So we love this program. TikTok, we love you. F1 444. Oh God.
Imagine, what is the freedom of speech online? APC ẹ̀ ní sórí ìrìn tó bá ń pẹ́ yìí.
Àṣẹ.
Àyàmọ́ pẹ́ yìí.
Ẹ̀ẹ̀kan náà wọ́n ẹ mọ nǹkan tí ẹni tó ń bọ̀ wá sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ tí mọ tó ń bọ̀ wá ṣe ẹ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í ṣorí burúkú. Nǹkan bẹ nǹkan ó ti ta fún yín o.
Ọ máa ṣorí burúkú yẹn dalẹ̀ ni.
Àṣẹ. F1 444, ẹ jẹ́ ká tún ṣe ẹ̀.
Nǹkan tó ń ba eyín jẹ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run.
Ẹ bọ̀tẹ́ tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ kò tí ẹ̀ tí mọ tó fẹ́ wá sọ.
Ẹ mọ ibi tó ń lọ.
Ìtọ́ jẹ́rí gan lẹ́yìn tó pa mí lẹ́rìn gan nìyẹn. Àtàwọn àti bàbá wọn.
Wíwá ara mi ká gbé igbó mo wà. Brother don lórí Donari Baba. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Mo fẹ́ rí response sí ọ̀rọ̀ tí ẹ sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan nípa ọ̀rọ̀ ustaz tí wọ́n bá. Olóbùkú nìyẹn ṣe sáà. Ẹni sọ̀rọ̀.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká tap. F1 444.
Tẹ́ bá follow program yẹn, ẹ rí i pé ní mo wà lára àwọn tó béèrè question lọ́wọ́ wọn. So ìgbà tó mo béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn nípa vote tí Tinubu rí ìgbà tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ ìyàmẹ̀yà. So mo fẹ́ ká understand ni pé bí mo ṣe wà yìí I'm a Muslim and I'm a proud Muslim.
Exactly, I am.
Ustaz Jamiu, ó kàn yẹ pé yín sí. Lára àwọn comparator, so he is one of the leading comparator that we have in Southwest. But nǹkan tó kàn tí mo dẹ̀ máa ń follow wọn dáadáa lára àwọn member wọn ni mí. But Islam ò fẹ́ àbòsí, she understand. Tèmi sì believe with Islam ti tèmi sí nìyẹn. So ìgbà tó wá níjọ́ yẹn, ìbéèrè ti tèmi gan ló lágbára jù fún wọn láti down, because mo ti rí pé ní see we can move Nigeria forward based on sentiment. Èyí tí Islam gan fún wa láyé rẹ̀ rárá. Tí family tí parent wa bá ń ṣàbòsí, ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ fún pé parent wa ń ṣàbòsí kẹsì Islam gbé wa. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam sọ pé ní ẹran àwọn méjì lọ́wọ́, ẹni tó ń ṣàbòsí fún àti ẹni tí ó ń ṣe àbòsí. So wọ́n á béèrè lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ pé ní tábà ní ká ran ẹni tó ń ṣàbòsí lọ́wọ́ fún tó ń ṣàbòsí fún lọ́wọ́, báwo ni ẹni tó fẹ́ ṣàbòsí báwo lẹ ṣe fẹ́ ràn òun náà lọ́wọ́? Wọ́n ní ẹ gbà lọ́wọ́ mọ́ ẹ lè jẹ́ kó sí àbòsí yẹn ni. Now nígbà tí Buhari wà lórí oyè, ustaz fẹ́ ra bọ́ọ̀sì tí wọ́n fẹ́ máa fi páàkì àwọn irinṣẹ́ wọn 28 million naira ni wọ́n bọ́jẹ̀tì fún bọ́ọ̀sì yẹn pé wọ́n fi ra bọ́ọ̀sì. Immediately tí Tinubu wọ orí oyè owó bọ́ọ̀sì yẹn ó kù láti rí 28 million naira ó lọ sí 120 million naira bí 128 million naira. But because Tinubu jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá tó sì jẹ́ èèyàn wọn, wọ́n rí pé ní aburú ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa ní Nàìjíríà. Kì í ṣe pé nítorí pé ọ̀rọ̀ ó jẹ́ Mùsùlùmí àbújá kìíní ni. Ẹ sì rí pé gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n ń sọ ń jọ yẹn ọ̀rọ̀ pé ní àwọn Haúsá wọn fẹ́ ká débẹ̀, àwọn Haúsá wọn fẹ́ ká débẹ̀, ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀yàmẹ̀yà òun ni ustaz ń sọ ń jọ yẹn ló jẹ́ kí n gírìlì wọn. So ẹ wá rí pé nígbà tó ń fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ achievement wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ kankéré títì kankéré. Báwo lẹ́sìn máa sọ̀rọ̀ títì kankéré gẹ́gẹ́ bí achievement pé àrírí Nàìjíríà? Sáà wá rí títì rí Nàìjíríà ni. Ok, Ìbàdàn expressway tí wọ́n ṣe policy ló yàtọ̀. Ẹ bá wo bọ́n ṣe Ìbàdàn expressway yẹn construction method wọ́n dígì ilẹ̀ lẹ̀. Bí mo ṣe wà yìí àmì in the field of engineering people so wọ́n dígì lọ sí di solid strata. Wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá fi polymembrane sí àwọn pé àwọn ilẹ̀ polítì yẹn wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ fi sí. Wọ́n wá lọ kó àwọn another material wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá kó wá. Wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá fi solid cement treated base wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ fi lélẹ́rí kó tó wá di pé ní wọ́n wá gbé asphalt lélẹ́rí. But this system tí Umahi gbé wá òun gbé pure concrete wá. Decision Umahi ní kì í kò ká wá. Ọ̀nà Ìbàdàn expressway yẹn so ti bàjẹ́ ni àbí ká lọ sí Abuja Kaduna tí Julius Berger sí sọ́nà yẹn ti bàjẹ́ ni àbí ká lọ sí ọ̀nà Kano to Maiduguri tí wọ́n sì kò tí sì kankan tó affect ọ̀nà yìí. Ọ̀nà táyì ń ṣe lọ́wọ́ tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì yìí ń ṣe lọ́wọ́ wọ́n ní yóò lo 50 years. Àti ìparí rẹ̀ gan ká tó mọ̀ bóyá yóò lo 50 years yẹn àbí kò ní lo 50 years yẹn. Ẹ ti ń pariwo pé ní ọ̀nà yóò lo 50 years, ọ̀nà yóò lo 50 years, ọ̀nà yóò lo 50 years. Ẹ jẹ́ ká parí rẹ̀ ní ká mọ̀ bóyá yóò lo 50 years yẹn ọ̀hún. Tó gbogbo àwọn nǹkan yẹn, àmọ́ wọ́n ti gbàgbé pé ní a ní 36 governors ní Nàìjíríà tó jẹ́ pé ní àwọn 19 wà ní north. Sẹ́yìn mọ̀ pé ní as I'm talking to you right now, Bala Mohammed, who is the chairman of PDP Governors Forum, is now negotiating with APC in the bid of joining APC. Bye. Sẹ́yìn pọ́ ọmọ Fúlàní ni ọmọ Haúsá ni. Kò sí mi ò mọ̀ bí ẹ̀yin ní sìn ẹ̀tún mọ̀ nípa Haúsá jù mí lọ yìí. I can see it in your intonation that you are even more better in Hausa than I do. Do you understand? So you, the long you stay in Hausa, you can't differentiate them. Do you understand? You can't differentiate them from Fulani because we all call them Hausa Fulani, Hausa Fulani. But in that north, how many governors in that north has not joined Tinubu in the APC now? Is it fair for us to say, okay, our Hausa, our Fulani won't bet Tinubu débẹ̀ again? Even Igbo tó gbé Tinubu wọlé is over. Okay.
Okay, ṣó ti wà under ní comment section bí.
Mubarak request up.
Okay, and àbí kó comment so màá lè.
Ó ti comment, ó ní add me back.
Under. Ẹni kó comment again so.
Type your comment again, Mubarak.
Mi ò rí comment.
Pẹ̀lú àwọn ilé tó kọ́kọ́ wà ní tẹ̀tẹ̀tẹ̀ rí.
Okay, èmi tẹ share button ní bíbá yìí. Tó bá ti comment ẹ jẹ́ kí n mọ̀. Bóyá ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ yín lọ ná. Bàbá Ọmọbọ́lá, ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ yín lọ. So tó bá ti comment a pick it. Ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ yín lọ, Bàbá Ọmọbọ́lá. Baba Mobola. Ṣé ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ mi ṣá?
À ń gbọ́ yín.
Okay, Baba Mobola, ẹ continue ọ̀rọ̀ yín so kí o fi comment padà. Mo ń wo comment section. Okay. Mi ò sì rí comment yín. Okay. Ẹ jẹ́ kí Baba Mobola máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ.
Ti mú tara mi. Mo ti mú tara mi.
Ẹ ti mú tara yín.
It is not for fear for us to say, okay, bóyá Hausa kan àbí Fulani kan fẹ́ kó débẹ̀. Sẹ́rí àwọn politician wọ́n máa ń play political game pẹ̀lú wa ni chess ni wọ́n máa ń play. Kò sí tó kan Tinubu as Yorùbá man. Tó bá yẹ pé ní decision yín gẹ́gẹ́ bí Yorùbá kò ní favour rẹ̀ in political way. Ó pè rẹ̀ kó lọ pẹ̀lú àwọn ẹ̀yà míì tí ó bá pè rẹ̀. Tó bá yẹ pé ní yóò ṣàti favour rẹ̀ ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà sì ni àwọn tó wà ní north náà. So they are just playing divide and rule. But àwọn tá a kì í ṣe politician tá a bá rí government tí ò bá ṣe dáadáa kò sí tó kan religion bí kinní yìí kò sí tó kan ẹ̀sìn bí kinní yìí ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ jáde pé ní kinní yìí kò dáa ká sì fight ẹ̀. So ó rẹ̀ ti wà ní government yẹn for 4 years nìyẹn kò perform well. So ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ pé ní kò perform well but nǹkan tẹ́mi rí lẹ́nu nínú àwọn tó ń support government ni wọ́n fi achievement kankan wọ́n fi support rẹ̀. Ìsàyẹ̀dà kan lu wípé ní ọmọ wa ní ẹjọ́ ṣe kínní ẹjọ́ mọ̀ sí lọ táwọn Haúsá bá débẹ̀ yóò jẹ́ àwa Yorùbá tí kínní àbí kan lo religion gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n sàn ń lò papọ̀ wọn àrà achievement kankan tó fi sọ̀rọ̀ ní fún ọmọ yìí. So it is not until when you are religious or you are not religious before you know what is better or what is better.
Yes, sir. Ever been when you are Israeli attention in Italy.
Okay, kò sí problem.
So it is not until when you are Yoruba or not before you have your brain set. So we should not follow the leg over or this divide and rule of this politician. They are not here. They are not in there for us. They are in there for their self and their family. Look at it. Imagine Bala Mohammed is now negotiating with them to join them. It is on the value of a living office, or maybe by 2027 now, his 8 years it will be completed.
Yes, sir.
Negotiating with them.
You know, when you said the man was defending Tinubu, okay, Tabawo Ubai, who was the person who supported Buhari for the 8 years that Buhari spent in destroying the people? It was this same Tinubu, this same person. 2019, before NSAS and everything, he kept quiet because he knows his own turn will come. And the Hausa people, the Northerners, let me don't say the Hausa people, the Northerners, most of them, I'll say, when they were, when the 2020 NSAS was happening, they had most of their religious leader, whatever leaders over there saying, oh, don't support the people from the South because they don't want Buhari, they don't want this, that's why they want to destroy his government. Today, who are the people who suffer the most? They are the same people. They are the ones who suffer the most. And now the terrorism that he brought, because he literally brought it, it is now spreading and going down to the south. And we have some mad fellows that will come and tell you, Tinubu this, Tinubu that. Rubbish. You know, everything, any coastal road, kini. There are some things Timba Boba inu marun mi pe ṣé èèyàn làwọn people yìí ṣá. Irú àwọn ají àjẹwò lélẹ̀ ìgbà ìtòrọ̀lọ́n. Ẹ̀ ń jìyà ẹ̀sìn lọ́ọ̀bì àtẹ̀ ń jẹ yẹn torí pé yẹni tó wà ń bẹ̀ ìzè Yorùbá ṣé ń já wèrè ni.
ajíyàjẹ.
Go.
Ṣé nǹkan tẹ́lẹ̀ rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé ẹlẹ́ta ló pọ̀ nínú wọn. Right? Most of them want to believe pé Nàìjíríà yìí ó ti tẹ́ àwọn ọlọ́run àwọn níbì kan lọ́wọ́. So wọ́n dẹ̀ rò pé àwọn kan ní potential the country pé nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ a fẹ́ ṣe a fẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà dáa. Wọ́n ti wá rò pé òkè tí kò bá ti níwà òkè fáwọn náà a fẹ́ kájọ fọ́ ògbé at least ọmọ wa ṣáà ní bẹ́ẹ̀ because gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tó wà níta ń ṣe APC gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tó gbọ́n gan ni wọ́n gbọ́n wọn ò kì í ṣe gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì fún àwọn masses. Even most masses ìjàmbá most masses tó ń follow wọn gan àwọn gan mọ̀ pé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì kì í ṣe tiwa. Because èmi máa ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn mo ní country yìí kì í ṣe nǹkan tó hard láti fix tẹ́yẹ̀ tó bá máa fix country kì í ṣe nǹkan tó hard. You just need to call people okay there must be accountability. Tó bá fún yàn lówó báwo ló ṣe náwó yẹn pé transparency okay a ní Tinubu ṣe kankan ẹ ní láti defend the government Tinubu ẹ jí ká wo tó bá yẹ pé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ṣe nǹkan gbogbo wa la máa rí ẹ ṣe kó wà transparent but everybody ó ti wá fẹ́ di pé wọ́n bá ti inú mú èèyàn ara rẹ̀ yá ẹ fún ní rice gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì kò àwọn èèyàn rí pé ẹ fún ní rice rice everybody wá fẹ́ ṣe òdo mọ́ Yorùbá yẹn wọ́n ṣe tí wọ́n bá orúkọ Yorùbá jẹ́ kò síbi tẹ̀lé dẹ́sìn ojú tó fi ń wò wá gan tàbí àwọn Yorùbá náà àwọn eléyìí tí èdè ẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Mo rí èèyàn kan ní comment section ṣe tó sọ pé Tinubu tó bá ti ṣú ọ̀fọ̀ ọmọ ọ̀bọ̀ wá sókè wá defend wá kó wá sọ àṣìmẹ́ǹtẹ̀ fún wa kó wá sọ fún wa Ọlọ́run ṣàánú wa bẹ́ẹ̀.
Bí mi náà fẹ́ sọ ni Ògúnládé àbí kí ni wọ́n pe orúkọ ara wọn pé bóyá wọ́n lè rí wọn gbé sókè àmọ́ bóyá space.
Ògúnládé come up.
Wọ́n ní sáfẹ̀ fún guest I don't know.
Tickets bá ti di ọmọ ọ̀lẹ́ come up káyé bá fẹ́ bàjẹ́ come just come èèyàn aláì bàjẹ́ yìí.
Bá ṣú ọ̀fọ̀ onídìí kí wọ́n ká wọn ṣépè wọn ní ẹ̀rú mọ̀
bọ́dà bó ṣe wà yẹn ìpè ní ìpè lọ́gbà wà láìdáláì tí lọ́gbà.
Wọ́n ti gòkè.
Ògúnládé, please, before you go on, can you please give us some achievements in this government, like things you have achieved as a person, and you feel this achievement can stick to you for life, not a temporary achievement? Yeah, I'm going.
The problem of Nigeria is not Tinubu.
Who is it?
Number one problem of Nigeria is religion.
Okay.
And we have to deal with that first.
No. I thought they asked you one question. They asked you question. So you can't just be spinning.
Exactly. I just asked you achievement that you have achieved.
Question.
Then we can move on with whatever you want to say.
To campaign for Tinubu here for us.
One reality.
Ẹ jẹ́ tó gbọ́mọ dání ẹ bá wa gbé ọmọ sẹ́yìn díẹ̀ jọ.
My dear brother, can you just answer the question?
Ọ̀dọ́ ni mo ń dáhùn yìí, mo ní gbogbo society kò síbi tí ìjọba ti ń pèsè iṣẹ́. Ministry ni ìjọba máa ń ní. Ministry wọn máa create enable environment.
Okay.
That means like, wait.
Okay, you said something. I want to take you on that. Okay, has Nigeria government provided any job for anybody in Nigeria right now?
See, àwọn èèyàn ló máa ń provide.
Nigeria government ti pèsè iṣẹ́ fún
èèyàn ló máa èèyàn lá provide iṣẹ́ fúnra rẹ̀. Ìjọba
bàbá kí ni function government gan? Kí ni iṣẹ́ government ẹ bí léèrè kí ni function government gan?
Function government to provide enable environment.
My dear brother, government will provide iṣẹ́. Government will provide iṣẹ́.
Irúṣẹ́ wo ni government provide? Government na company náà àbí?
Okay, so government will provide iṣẹ́ kankan fún Nigeria lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí.
Government will only provide enable environment. Enable environment.
You don't under. What is the meaning of enabling environment?
Tí Bàlá ti dé àyè ẹyọkan mo ti fàyè ẹyọkan sí bíbá yìí tí mo ti péjì mi sí.
Ẹjọ́ ti question kan. You said the government.
Tí Bàlá ti dé kẹjẹ kí n máa yé wà yẹn.
They provide an enabling environment, right? Yes, the government do not produce or provide jobs, but guess what? They make policies to be able for people who are coming to invest, to be able for them to come in and invest.
What I'm saying.
Wait, hold on. I asked you a question. I said, you as a person, what have you achieved? Or what can you say, yes, this is an achievement? And this thing can last me for the next 10, 20, 30 years.
You can't ask me personal question. If we are talking about...
No. Wait, hold on.
Let me talk.
Bro, calm down.
Wait, that
calm
is
down.
personal
Do not
question.
yell at me.
I need
Do not yell at me. Hold on.
Wait,
No.
wait.
Bro, I know mad people like you. I know supporters like you.
I can beat my chest for
and
that.
I will not let
You
you
can't ask
speak.
me that question.
I will not let you speak.
achievement.
I know molo people between. You cannot speak over me. Just calm down. You cannot speak over me. I know people like you people that continue to defend rubbish. So calm down.
What is your achievement in life?
Calm down.
Ask me my achievement.
Yo, calm down.
That is personal. You can't ask me
No. I have to ask you personal. Wait, hold on, because you are here to defend rubbish. Hold on. Do not speak over me.
Let me talk.
Let me talk.
Let me get
done talking. I just asked you, what is your own achievement in this government? Before we go about talking about the rest of the people in the country, you as a person who is coming over here to defend the rubbish in that country.
So I will be waiting for government to provide money or anything for me.
What about providing a conducive environment for you to be able to strive better in life?
See, I don't want to go into personal.
No, I just asked you a question. Not just you in particular. I use you as one person before going.
Yes.
See, I don't want to go into personal.
Nigga, just go.
Question.
Bye-bye. You go. You can't answer because obviously you guys are just...
Mo ti gbé bàlá táwọn tún remove bàlá náà. Ta ló tún remove
I'm
bàlá?
just starting you as one person. I am asking you before we now go over and say, okay, what about...
Ṣé network ló tún gbé bàlá ni? No, bàlá ló wà lókè náà. Ẹ wo ta lẹ remove.
Achievement. You cannot speak about achievement.
Iron Man. My achievement. You know that you have achievement more than me in this life. Let me know with evidence, and I can give you evidence of my achievement.
Okay, let me tell you.
Ṣé network ló jà ni?
You see, in that same Nigeria.
No, mo ti gbé sókè yìí sọ lẹ pé network ẹ̀ gan wà okay.
Same Nigeria tó fẹ́ máa defend yẹn. Same
Inú òyìnbó ló
Nigeria.
wà.
I'm not defending
Bẹ́ẹ̀ tí network ẹ̀ ò dáa.
Calm down. Let me tell you.
Mo ti gbé
Achievement,
sókè
right?
yìí
Talk
sùn.
about achievement. Okay, that same country that you see, served the country for good 12 years in the military. I mean, my 12th years in this military in the United States. Are you mad? If you're talking about achievement?
Are you mad?
Because we are asking you. We are asking you, and you were telling. You guys are just
in America. What are you talking about?
You guys are a bunch of buffoons.
You are a bunch of fools.
Because you will defend a drug. You will defend a drug.
Is that a new thing?
Oh no, it's not a new thing. I'm just telling you.
In America,
And I have seen achievement. I just asked you a question, but because you guys are just you're dumb, you cannot answer just the same question. Argument.
What are you talking about?
You want to turn it into argument? I just asked you a simple question, but because of how dumb you are, how dumb your leaders are, how dumb all of you are, you cannot answer a simple question.
You are a company in Nigeria.
Yeah. Company.
Sorry. You are talking nonsense. People create job for themselves.
Only a doubt.
Okay, you should network.
Inú ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ máa kú sí ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wa yẹn.
Àwọn olùsẹ́ pé wọ́n tọrọ bá
Especially sọ̀rọ̀.
Ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ ní sùúrù o.
Wèrè òun lásán. Máa ti tẹ́lẹ̀ nǹkan tá yìí máa bàjẹ́. Ayé ti máa bàjẹ́.
À ń gbọ́ yín mà.
Ẹ lásán.
Ó ní òun wọlé wọn kàn ń gbé òun kúrò ní ipe wọn.
Ta ló ń gbé kúrò?
Àwọn TikTok ni pé wọ́n wá béèrè age confirmation.
Bóyá ó ní ìgbà tó bá bẹ̀rẹ̀
wọ́n sọ pé in review. Only you to Padawa.
Yeah, maybe he has to verify his account.
All right, Mubarak, we're listening.
Okay.
Sorry for that rude interruption.
I noticed everybody got offline.
Yeah, that was them trying to disrupt this thing. Maybe you're saying something they find uncomfortable. I don't know. You remember it happened at the other live too?
Yes, indeed, it did.
Yeah.
So I'll keep rushing before they remove us again.
Okay.
Yeah. So after my university or during my university, I was sure I am not a believer in Islam. But I can't tell anybody. You can't tell at home. But then Boko Haram came, and then killing started, and I realized I have to tell my family.
Please don't use the K word.
Bani.
Okay. So
Boko Haram, unalive. You can use unalive.
Okay. I'm still learning. So I told my family that these kind of activities by the Boko Haram is actually the religion. My father was not happy that I could say that, and they took me to a psychiatric hospital. But what people don't even know is that the doctor certified me sane. The doctor said I was very sane, that I'm saying does not constitute madness. But my father was not happy. So 6 months later, he made an arrangement with another doctor. And then they just took me by force and then hospitalized me for 18 days, through which I had to now call the international community to help. And then I was helped. I was released after 18 days. Immediately I got out. Boko Haram leader Abubakar Shekau had the news on the BBC. The video he made about the Chibok girls. So he opened the Chibok girls mockery with me, that I'm that kind of a contractor for the Jews, that this is what Boko is about. This is what education is about, taking children of Islam into idolatry. And he threatened me. That was 2014. And immediately after, ISIS headquarters in Al-Raqqa released a list of 100 people to kill. I was number 42 on that list. Okay. To buy. Yeah. So I was 42 on that list, and then I got out, and then I did my own thing. But Nigeria is one kind of system that Boko Haram was killing Muslims, but the Muslims were shouting that that person has to be pied. That person has to be pied because he has left the religion. So they were saying I should be pied, and Boko Haram is saying I should be pied. So they agreed on that. But then Boko Haram is still killing them. So that was then. But I decided to maneuver about and live. Yeah, I lived quietly in Kaduna and Abuja, just doing my own thing and working as an engineer. I'm a chemical engineer. In 2020, I crossed over to the Hausa language. It's very different speaking in English and then speaking in Hausa is very different. The audience you have are totally different. Like you could say maybe the difference between North and South. So I crossed over to Hausa because they were saying COVID-19 was a conspiracy to make Muslims not pray, to ban Muslims from going to mosque, that there will be no Hajj this year, blah, blah. So I thought if I could switch to the Hausa language, maybe I could try and educate them. So I tried to educate them, but immediately they realized that this is that person that 6 years ago and then those English-speaking folks that were already normal with me thought that, oh, this is the best opportunity. Then they picked it up again. So that person is still alive. And we pressured the government, and then the government now decided. So in fact, there were people looking for me actively to kill me, and the government picked me up. But they picked me in Kaduna. Instead of them to take me to Abuja or Lagos for trial, they decided to smuggle me. This is to COVID-19 when Boko Haram, when President Buhari has already decreed that no state should, no interstate travel, no going out and no interstate travel. But I was smuggled quietly into Kano. and I was kept in the police headquarters for 3 months. And all through that 3 months, they were doing nothing but trying to convince me to convert back to Islam. And decided to try me based on Kano's penal code. Kano's penal code is Sharia, but incorporated into the constitution. So it's blasphemy, but in that kind of setting. So I was kept for 24 months without trial, without bail, without court for 24 months. And then I was taken to court, and then I was given 24 years plus 16 years. 24 years for saying things that could make people go angry and start buying people. That's the inciting this thing. Then the other charge is insulting the religion itself. They said I insulted the religion. Identity, meaning the prophet. So I was serving 40 years. Then I was able to transfer to Abuja. And immediately I got to Abuja, I waited thinking that it would be over soon, but I lasted another 2 years. So all in all, I lasted 4.5 years, which is about 7-8 years in prison calendar. So that was how I got out last year. And then I immediately came to Germany for study and to recuperate in hope that I could go back, because I hope that Nigeria needs to hear things that they don't want to hear, especially my people in northern Nigeria. So that's my story. You could ask me questions.
Tell them what I said when you said you were going to go back to Nigeria.
Oh, yeah. People don't think it's possible to exist in Nigeria once you are not a Muslim, especially given that I come from northern Nigeria and I try to live in northern Nigeria. So most people still look for me. The fatwa is still there, people's fatwa, and then government fatwa. And then the judge said I must never speak against the religion again, which I have not abided by. So, but I thought maybe I could go back and then we could chart a new way. We firstly have to give our people, because this is a forced marriage by the British between North and South. And our people don't want Nigeria. They just have to be in Nigeria because somebody decided they have to belong to Nigeria. They want to have an Islamic state like Sharia, Taliban system. This is what we want. Even the British, when they came, they realized we were operating the Sharia and they didn't want to disturb that. If you studied social studies in primary school, you'd know that Lord Lugard employed a method for the North called indirect rule, where all he could was just give directives to the emirs he installed, and then these emirs would govern through him. So the system was intact. Northern Nigeria was not.
You cut off.
Okay. So Nigeria has never changed. Northern Nigeria has never changed from that mentality, from centuries old mentality. So we would rather have a Sharia state than have Nigeria. That's what Northern Nigeria mentality is about. We prefer to live as a Taliban kind of world where we don't care about modernity. We care mostly about our own faith, our own religion, our own culture, where we marry little girls and as many as we can and sell human beings if we want. So whatever Boko Haram was doing is our culture. Whatever the bandits are doing is part of the culture. It's what the religion taught us. And then we complain only because it makes us uncomfortable and we are the victims. Well, initially, we thought the victims have to be people from central Nigeria, the Middle Belt. Those are the people before Christianity that we just took as slaves and do what we could with them. But now we can't do that. So we are very angry because our own colonial masters, the Fulani, have decided that if they can't reach the Middle Belt, they could find us and do what they have done so far. So this is it. So regarding the tribal division that you mentioned, actually, I was the one that ignited the debate. I ignited the debate about the jihad of Usman Danfodio. That was about a decade ago, and when Boko Haram, because part of what I was doing is trying to educate people that there is no difference between what Shekau and Boko Haram were doing and what Usman Danfodio did 2 centuries prior. And then also I ignited the debate that we Hausa people, we don't even know ourselves. We don't have that sense of identity. We try to merge with tribes that don't really acknowledge us. So you see a typical Hausa cleric dismissing Hausa tribe as an ethnic group, saying that they don't exist. Then yesterday I saw on Facebook, I saw another cleric. He's
You cut off.
Okay. So the cleric running for governor in Sokoto State in an effort to dismiss Hausa people because they have tried to dismiss the Hausa tribe and they failed. So now he was saying just yesterday that the Hausa people are part of the pharaonic Pharaona from Egypt. So we are just part of that culture of idolatry, that it's the Fulani that came and cleansed us to give us Islam. This is just 18th century, 1804. But if people are versed in...
Pharaona is Hausa language for Pharaoh.
Yes, Moses is Pharaoh. You know, the prophet only knew one Pharaoh. That's what the Bible told him. So he didn't know there were 5,000 Pharaohs or dynasties for 5,000 years. So all we knew is just one Pharaoh. So whenever we mention Pharaoh, we just meant that one from the Bible. But they don't know that there are many, many thousands. So now, also what that man was saying was actually an insult, but luckily now people have woken up and they're talking about it and they are dismissing his congestion. He was saying that we were pagans, even though we were Muslim from the 11th century. We were Muslim with contact with the North African tribes. We became Muslim, like Islamic Maghreb came through the Sahara and then contact with Sub-Saharan Africa when we were under the Shanghai and even before the empire. So we are Muslim for 700 years. Then Osman Danfodio came and gave us his own tribal kind of colonialism, calling it purification and revival. But this is what it is. Northern Nigeria is still under that colonial rule. They were only deposed by the British. But also by genetics, we can't differentiate between the Hausa living city dwelling Fulani and the Hausa people because we have intermarried, we have mixed. So the features, even if prominent, we have mixed so much that we are still Hausa, we are still Fulani. The only difference is that those that have not mingled with the typical culture that has been so far. So this is the problem. So the Hausa and the Fulani are one people in the cities, living in small towns and villages as farmers and herders. But then you have the bush ones that are mostly connected with the nomadic North African tribes, and they always come about. They are not civilized. They don't know anything. They just want to maim and kill and murder and take slaves. So that's the conflict we have now. But the problem is that the Fulani elite have refused to ally themselves with their host communities, the Hausa, in trying to tame that menace. So we're still trying to educate them that this is not the way. We have to educate ourselves. You don't declare kinship to somebody that wants to kill you. But all these spying, in reality, actually are part of the religion. You know, the religion has normalized it. It's very normal. Quran 4 verse 24 has explained how you could rape, how you could take slaves, how you could sell, how you could make a slave your own property, or whatever objections the persons would have. So we still have that Sharia system, and we still consult it, we still teach it to our children, and still we complain that it's a conspiracy from Israel, or it's a conspiracy from America that terrorists are killing us. We can't really see that our own culture is Boko Haram, our own culture is this banditry. This is what we've done for centuries on another tribe. especially those in the center. Why those? Yeah, really.
Go ahead, Mubarak. That was a feedback because somebody turned on their microphone.
Okay, so that's it. So we're trying to educate our folks, and what I propose now for the foreseeable future is Nigeria to have an unambiguous constitution, a new constitution with a clear mandate. We could ask for through a referendum whether people want to belong or they don't want to belong, and if they want to belong, in what way. It could be an autonomous state of the union, such as what other countries have gone. We could respect ourselves, have our own laws. We already have our own laws. The culture is superior to the constitution. For example, the constitution would stipulate 18.
ẹ jẹ́ kí a double tap kí a tó máa béèrè question. Ó dẹ̀ pé next.
I think we need to have question.
Okay, ẹ fẹ́ béèrè question. Oh,
Wọ́n ti
network.
gbé bọ́lẹ̀ o.
Kí ló dé?
Ó kò pẹ́ tó join TikTok, so kò tí ì mọ gbogbo àwọn rules yẹn. So gbogbo àwọn language tó ń bẹ̀rẹ̀, ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ try láti get used to it.
Okay, ní remove again. Why remove? But àwọn tí ẹlòmíì kò ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ lòmíì náà.
How to take them home when they are speaking really.
Okay, somebody wants to ask question. Ó ti padà. Great life. Ẹ béèrè question yín.
Mubarak, try not to use the K word and try to use grape. You know, like the fruit, grape, instead of the other word.
Grape. Okay. Okay.
Great life. Ẹ béèrè question.
Before people start asking questions, I think you should go into your vision, how you think we can repair this, so that it doesn't look like you're just complaining and there's no solution.
Okay. So my proposals were simple. We have a new constitution. Firstly, we must have the referendum first, because we have to ask people: do you really want to belong, or do you want to go? So people that want to belong can choose to belong, because we can't continue where the founding fathers are all going. Obasanjo is 89, Yakubu Gowon is, I think, 91. Babangida is almost 88, something like that. So these are the people that fought to save Nigeria, to keep Nigeria one. And these are the people that believe in Nigeria. But beyond that generation, nobody really believes in one Nigeria. We are so different now that you could see it with an international development. There could be a war going on in the Middle East, but you will see the total polarity of Nigeria, where Southerners would go for one team, the Northerners would go for another team. But the saddest thing is that if that one country would declare war on our country, then our own people will rise and wage that war on their behalf against us. Should a fatwa come from that cleric that was killed? Should he have
Fine.
Okay, fine. Should that cleric have declared?
Please.
Yeah, okay. I'll try and pay attention. So that cleric that was pied in Iran, should he have declared they would act on it. So we were just lucky. So now if we can give the choice, because there is no there shouldn't be forced marriage in this century. The British did it. It started here, 1884, Berlin Conference. And the British did it. And they took the territory, they just decided to administer it without consultation. But that British are gone. Then our founding fathers that fought to keep Nigeria one are all almost gone. So the oldest president we would ever have is Goodluck Jonathan. This is a 64, 65-year-old person. And he's the only one that would remain out of the former presidents, because if you notice, even the current president may not last 2 decades. On hands, declare that referendum date. We have to give the government a date. Then if people choose to live in Nigeria, then we can now decide whether we want to share resources or everybody to determine for themselves what they want with their resources. You can't just be taking money from one region to share to everybody, and that's why the nation cannot move forward, because everybody is just depending on one resource. So we have to decide on that too. So resource control, federal character, all these times that there have been favors here and there. I could just score 160 in JAM, but then I have to compete, in class with somebody with 240, and we have the same admission because I come from the north, he came from the center or the south. It doesn't matter. We have to have that. So there's no justice in terms of these things, resource control, and what I believe would happen is that we have to be the ones to decide that, not these politicians. The politicians, as long as they're making money out of the system, they don't care. So they can't tell that the country is so fractured that we are totally different. They are just united at the top, but we are not united in the bottom here. So we have to start that advocacy about referendum. I plan to have a political party registered, ideological political party, not these ones that will be Republican today, then Democrats tomorrow, then Green yesterday, then Libertarians. You know how crazy it could sound to maybe an American or a politically savvy person to realize that Nigerians don't have an idea of how politics is. They don't know left, they don't know right. They are just like goats. You just chase them into one party and they all follow as long as there are yam and leaves to eat. What good old Jonathan said, a goat must eat yam. So the Tinubu is dangling yam for them now, and everybody is going. So there is no political party. So we have to have as youth a political party. Then we have to also have our own what we could call agenda, where we can define what Nigeria needs. What we don't even have to call it Nigeria. It could just be a union of customs union where everybody taxes whatever passes through their territory. That's why I want that state police to happen, because with state police, at least people have a chance at their destiny and not controlled at the center. You know, Nigeria used to be a very federal system under the parliamentary system, but then we came and became a unitary system briefly under this Aguiyi-Ironsi to centralize power. Then the coup happened, and then we went back to whatever system it is now. But this system is unsustainable. What we are veering towards is a civil war. Firstly, how between Hausa and Fulani, they could suffer a civil war. Also between the north, a conglomerate of Hausa, Kanuri, Fulani, there will be another maybe aggression with the Christian center, you know, the tribes that are marginalized and have always been the domination by these three major tribes in the north. So even though they are big victims by themselves, within themselves, Hausa victim of Fulani, Kanuri, victimizing other smaller tribes, you know, we still have our own unifying factor, which is religion. So with religion, then we became enemies to the center because they are Christian. They were only Christian 2 centuries ago. But before then, they were just roaming about, and we thought they don't even belong to the... Just took horses and we just went to raid and take them and make them our slaves and then sell in the Saharan trade, you know, crazy things. But at least now they are educated and they have a protector in the person of crazy Donald Trump. So at least they have a godfather, but the north, the far north, don't have a godfather. They don't have direction. That's my people. We don't have an orientation. We don't know. We want someone to adopt us, like maybe Saudi Arabia or Iran, because we really are looking to be Arabs. We want to be valid in the Arab world or in the Islamic world, but we don't matter. Why don't we matter? Because we don't have that level.
I I don't see a justifiable factor.
Cut off, Mubarak.
Networking.
I'm telling you, we don't see a justifiable factor from this, man.
My back.
Okay.
I just go gúnlẹ̀ ká béèrè question. Ṣé kí a béèrè question lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀? Mo máa ń wá ṣe.
Go ahead, Mubarak.
Okay. So that's it. So the way forward actually after this election is to start something. We have to start something so that by 2030, we have a date for something like a referendum or a new constitution, or even just bring back what Goodluck Jonathan tried to have, that constitutional conference and all those recommendations that were there. They could start as a launching pad for. This is 2025, 2026. We only have 3 generations before 2100.
Please. Ká support the life goals. Wow. Ká send the gift wọlé. More blessing, Baba Sele. Please and please. Baba Sele ẹnìkan kọ́ ló wà ń bí o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká send the gift wọlé. Ká má tún lọ dáwàdà. More blessing. So, ẹ jẹ́ kí a bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí béèrè question torí time àtàsìkò wa. Àwọn kan fẹ́ lọ sí ibi iṣẹ́. Èmi náà ti kọ question mi sílẹ̀ sínú ìwé mi bí, but mo máa jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa béèrè question wa náà. Kò táyé bá kù máa béèrè pé. Thank you.
My question was this, what gives you that confidence? What did you see that made you say, no, you are not doing this?
Your APC yín ò wà okay. Baba.
Okay, what gave me the confidence, right?
Yes, to leave this.
I bẹ̀rẹ̀ question yẹn dáadáa gbọ́.
As I told you, Northern Nigeria is divided into 2 categories of people. Those that want to be educated because they don't care about the culture or the religion. That's the elite or the GRA people. And then those that, I'm talking about 1980s, 1960s, 1980s Nigeria. There are those that don't care about education, and then there are those that care about education. But then uniquely, some families can care about both. So I was from that kind of family that cared to be educated as well as take religion very seriously. If you take religion very seriously and then you are going to school understanding science, then things will not make sense, because hardly would you be that strongly educated and not see the inconsistencies there. So immediately I got hold of science. I realized religion doesn't make sense. But it's not an instantaneous realization. It's gradual. Today you see this fact, tomorrow you contemplate, the next time you ask questions, you are given half-hearted answers or threatened, or even you get the flogging. So there are a lot of things that wouldn't make sense, but you have to grow into an adult. Like I think in my late teens and then early 20s, that's when I was sure of my philosophy that religion is wrong. But you could decide not to even talk about it because it's dangerous. But when you see Boko Haram or you see terrorism rising and then all this violence, and you realize that this is coming from the religion, then you have to tell people the truth. That's when you realize you have a duty, because they are confused. They would just
say, great life. Emma, join me for that. I better be the question, Ketolo. Great life.
Yeah.
Please, 1 minute. 1 minute, please. Great life. Do you want to ask your question before you left?
Yeah, I just quickly want to throw a question to it. Because
because you want to go to church.
I'm just at the front of the church. I need to go in now, but I want to ask a quick question.
Okay.
And so, how does it justify what is the way out? He's speaking about referendum and he's pointing out to some other angles. What is he trying to make us understand about the country called Nigeria? I think different measures have been applied to keep this nation going positively.
and the situation still remain what it is. So of the opinion where I belong is that I don't see we trying to conjugalize, trying to mutualize the nation together on this platform of what he's suggesting. Because no matter how much we try to unify Nigeria, this chaos or this consistent pandemonium will still continue to increase. And the doorway to the consistent mess in the country is tied to the religion of Islam. Let's call it spade a spade. The major ultimate problem of Nigeria is tied to Islam. The bona fide issue that is generating now, that is leading to the demise, the consistent demise of people, is tied to Islam. And if you look at the inconsistency in our political sector,
are you making a submission or asking a question?
Ẹ jẹ́ kó sọ̀rọ̀ náà. Ó máa dáhùn, kó máa sọ question náà. Ẹ jẹ́ kó sọ̀rọ̀ náà.
Come on, you don't. I'm asking a question. I'm using my. I know what I'm putting across to him.
I'm
going straight to what he said. I'm talking based on what he initialized. See, that's what when you drive into people's when they are on the floor, you try to digress them. So, Queen, I think I might come back again. Please let me just go into the church. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ó lóun lọ sí church, so ẹ jẹ́ kí tó bá dé ó máa join wa padà. Ṣé question ṣé Mubarak Bala ṣó lè sọ sọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ?
Mubarak, do you want to address this question?
Yeah, I understand him. I think this is what we are on the same page here. But you know who is not on the same page? The politicians. They are blind. They don't know that the North is increasingly becoming ungovernable. The North has never been conquered. The North is ungovernable, but at least some people
love
tried.
that what you said. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, and it's only going to get worse. The only times it gets rescued is because some maybe military intervention comes, and then everybody is put back in his senses by the power of the gun. But this is democracy, and if you notice, it was almost going to hell in 2014. Then we brought back a general to give it one last try. It's like a coup, you know, don't just remove democracy, bring a general that can drill sense into the psyche of the Northerners. And that is what tamed the situation for a decade. And now it's back. So if we are not lucky and we end up with another coup, then maybe the country will sustain itself. But you know, the corruption that bedeviled the country and the lack of development is because the military has been there for 4 decades. So if we end up with another military system, we'll just perpetuate ourselves into the same poverty. We are still the poverty capital of the world, and we'll perpetuate ourselves under that kind of system without freedom. But all this enforcement is because Nigeria, by somebody's definition, has to belong to one country and one identity. While increasingly, you'd realize that the North doesn't want to belong. You wouldn't have a problem with Odudua or Biafra uniting to form a republic. You wouldn't have a problem with the central Nigeria.
You cut off.
Okay.
Okay, and about if I be a question. So, to that one you want any comment section to what's okay now. So, call him machine.
Can drop Kyle me was okay.
Okay.
I have 3 questions to ask him. You say, I don't want to go about rhetoric of religion with you because you said that you study.
Question about if I be a Nikelo. What I want
to ask you that do you know there is what we call in faculty of law in Nigeria? There is a department called the Sharia Law Department.
Yes, I know that. Yeah.
Okay, you know that that course is taken by Christian also.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, that one. That's number 1. Number 2. I've even okay. Let me comment.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Tọ́lọ́ tó fẹ́ bèèrè question.
Thank you. My own question is, what is the... there is none here. Just give me a minute.
Okay. Ta ló tún fẹ́ béèrè question?
Okay. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n continue pẹ̀lú question mi.
Okay, tí rántí pé ẹ̀pá dọ̀tí ẹ̀ sílẹ̀ ni.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí mo ti
À ń gbọ́ yín.
You spoke about some people having 200 from south and some people having 140 in your insinuation from north. Do you know that there is what they call catchment area in Nigerian University?
Yes, I know that.
Okay, what is it meant for?
It's for people to... Yeah, it's normally a structure where you can get admission either in your own state or the state closest, or the next 3 states closest to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then also, the Constitution allows that you have the right to roam in any part of the country, settle, and then start life.
I understand you. You know that they create that buffer for people that are staying in the state or around the state around to have more opportunity than those coming outside, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me how many of the northern people that are studying in UI or Lagos, University of Lagos, that are having that kind of opportunity?
Yeah, there is discrimination. Let me tell you, 2004, I got admitted into ABU's area. Do you know the admission? What it was called? It was called Sharia list, because that was when Nigeria was in that buying orgy about Sharia. There was so much buying that there is that demographic shift where people of not belonging to that tribe or that region had to leave. So for the first time, ABU's area saw the largest influx of Muslim students. It became so apparent that on a Friday, you would see the whole school shut down, because now we have the school. And it was boasted by most of our seniors that they did that just so that they would show the people that the central Nigerian people, indigenous Kaduna Christians, Zaria Christians, Plateau, people that dominated ABU's area. It was done just to show them that we have come of age. We are taking the country, we are taking the region, we are taking the institution. And from then on, if you notice, the institution in the north, especially ABU's area, all these institutions became Sharia compliant institutions. Just last weekend, you would see that a Christian lady from Kaduna was complaining that most of the Christians were disallowed entry into the school, a federal polytechnic, because they didn't dress as Muslims expect them to dress, because they said they were fasting. So that's the kind of injustice. Also, encroachment and all those things. We have known that it has been there for maybe now 2-3 decades now, since the Sharia madness came about. And it has been ever.
Mr. Mubarak, what I heard you was about catchment area. And I
answered you. Yeah.
But the last question was that how many northern people are having the opportunity of competing with southerner in the University of Ibadan or University of Lagos?
Well,
according to catchment area.
Well, I don't know, but I don't have figures, but I could say that.
So I'm talking about catchment area, because you made an allusion to catchment area, something looking like a catchment area, because this is a situation whereby they create it for people in the north to have opportunity in university domicile in the northern part of Nigeria, and it is happening here in the south also. So that's what I'm talking about. See, anything about religion, I don't discuss it with you at all. I started by it in my conversation. I don't discuss anything about religion with you at all. I'm just discussing about
Sir Omobolaji, he did not mention catchment area. It came from you. he talked about the variation in scores to enter university.
That's
lower for the north than for the
question ti yín ni kí ẹ béèrè oríṣiríṣi ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa religion ó dẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn politicians ètò bá ti wù yín nípa àwọn party kankan nípa Nàìjíríà.
Okay, let me make a small point from the other question. So somebody mentioned about studying Sharia in school. What I wanted to remind him is that the Sharia, why there is violence.
Ṣé ìtì bèrè question yín tán ni? Wait o, Bala. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that when the British conquered Sokoto State in 1903,
and tó bá tún fẹ́ bèrè question, ó wá sókè. I'm going. Okay.
Yeah, and they declared the end of the caliphate, the Osman Dan Fodio Caliphate. What they told the people there is that you could have your own rights to freedom of religion as long as you come to us for the liberation. So they didn't ban Sharia, but they watered it down. And with the first constitution and subsequent constitutions, the Sharia was so watered down that it doesn't involve all these capital punishments and all these maybe classification of people according to being a Muslim or not being a Muslim. The constitution now declared everybody equal before the law, which is not what the religion of Islam had defined the Ummah to be. So just by studying law under the constitution in an institution doesn't mean you know the Quran or you have mastered the Islamic law or Islamic jurisprudence. That's why the Boko Haram or jihadists globally are rising. Why are they rising? Because they want that full implementation of what the religion defined. They don't want that watered down British equality kind of system imposed on them. They want full-blown Sharia.
Okay, thank you. Tọ́lá tún fẹ́ béèrè question, please.
Mi ò bí ò tó ṣáájú mi dé fẹ́ bèèrè mo kí yín ò ìyá mi ẹ kú ọjọ́ mẹ́ta.
Ọjọ́ kan pẹ̀lú mà.
Ẹ kú iṣẹ́ ẹrú mọlẹ̀ kò ní sún yín kò ní rẹ̀ yín o láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Ìyá mi ayé pẹ̀tù ẹyẹ mo kí gbogbo yín. Mr. Mubarak, I greet you. I don't really have much question because it seems like you understand a little bit the problem in your area. So I just have a submission. So my submission will be that you people should try come together, try to educate your people against this religion. Because if you can look back how Hausa people used to be before the woman that followed you, they were good people, welcoming, they were nice people, working, doing their farming, having their yam, their beans. They were doing pretty okay. No pie, all this thing. Then if you now look down,
okay.
If you now look down to when Usman Afondo came in, they are not doing this religion very well, and they try to introduce so many this thing, try to let them practice the religion the way it should be. You will see the changes, you will see the civil unrest, everything that started happening. So I will urge you, since you understand that, to me, I would say it's only a Mumu generation. Mumu are the gullible people. It is only a gully people in this generation that will still be holding religion, because this religion was brought to Africa to unalive us, to take over our land and take over our resources. And when we are suffer, when we are in danger, they will tell us that, that is how Allah wanted it to be. It is written down. Who wrote it down? If there is calamity, there is war, there is If they are stealing people, they will say, oh, it is written in the Bible, in the end of the time, all those evil things will be happened. Who wrote it down? Our oppressors. I'm urging all the Africa that are listening. Why are you serving the God of your oppressors? The God of people that came to enslave you. So in the times of religion, I sense that you a little bit educated about that. So I will urge you that you should do more, should put more strength, educate your people away from this religion, because the Sharia law is barbaric. Any land, any country that they bring Sharia law, they are coming to bind all the indigenous people, and all the people living in that environment will see it as a normal thing. Now in the Nirtherner, if you abuse Prophet Muhammad, it's a normal to unalive the person. But in real world, is someone supposed to lose his life for a white man that never come to your land to help you? But the ideology of that religion will make it normal. So anything you felt like you could do to educate your people, the only thing that I know is just education. Like you said, education help you to unveil the lies of the religion. So if you can do so much also to educate more, you don't need many. You just need few of your of people that have the same ideology, and you educate your people away from that religion. Because so that's just my submission. Thank you so much. Yeah, point. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, ma. Question.
Can I speak before Mubarak goes on?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay. Due to what Big Joseph said, yeah, me as someone who speaks the Hausa language fluently, was born in the north, like I said, this is something that I do. When you bring religion talk, I'm a Muslim, yeah, and my religion is to myself. I don't care. It is what I understand that I'm practicing, and I don't care what religion you practice. All I talk about is humanity. You should be a human first before thinking about any religion in your head. And that is where I always emphasize when I talk to the people down north. I'll be like, look, I don't care. They come for me all the time. Come on, now they will say, Mubarak can hear me. That's you. You understand? Because as someone who is serving in the military, you know, they look at you like, oh, you are serving the Yehudawas. So some aka. Because no, normal. Yeah. They will say, oh, Yehuda some mahuzari akai aida man kai musuluncin ma ba cikakkiya bane da sauran. I've had a lot of stuff like that, which I don't care. I only talk about the problems we're facing, and religion contributes the most. Let's put tribes or whatever aside, because we already know the coming of the British, they mixed people, they did everything for their own good. But that religion is the main issue that we are facing in that country. If you cannot put your religion, put your emotional, how you're emotionally attached to your religion aside and face what is going on, we'll continue to see what's going on in that country. And we haven't seen enough. We'll see a lot more. And I talk about that. So, Big Josie, I talk about that stuff like for real.
No, Big Josie will never be happy until you leave the religion of your enslavers.
Thank you. I just can't say any shoki, please, Ejo. I'll be something about.
By the way, the translation of what Donari Baba just said, Yehuda Samakaposari Akai, means Jews have peed on your head.
Yeah. Big Joseph said you be mumu then. What did I do? I'm sorry.
You're still staying in the religion of your captors now.
Oh, is that the reason?
Yes.
No, I mean, it is choice. It is a choice. So everybody has a choice. It just depends on how you practice. You understand?
Táwọn tó fẹ́ béèrè question kí n tó béèrè question mi torí gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n sọ ẹ má bínú o, mi ò ní lè sọ èdè elédè, ẹ má bínú. Èdè Yorùbá, èdè babalá mi lèmi máa sọ, ẹ má bínú sí mi. Tí Mubarak ò bá gbọ́, mọ́mì wa ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ lè bá mi ṣe ògbùfẹ́, ẹ má bínú sí mi, please and please. Nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ béèrè ní ọwọ́ Mubarak òun náà ni pé pẹ̀lú bí gbogbo nǹkan ṣe ń lọ ní Nàìjíríà lọ́wọ́ báyìí, number one, màá kàn sọ̀rọ̀ ṣókí lórí ẹ̀sìn tí ó sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. Gbogbo nǹkan tó sọ̀rọ̀ sí lórí pápátá kò sí eléyìí tí ò yé mi bẹ́ẹ̀. Nǹkan tí mo kàn fẹ́ sọ lórí ẹ̀sìn yẹn ni wípé kí Elédùmarè kí ó ṣàánú gbogbo wa. Ilé ayé yìí láti bá, ilé ayé náà la dẹ̀ máa fi ń lẹ̀ sí, number one nìyẹn. Number two náà ni wípé ẹ̀sìn tá a bá ní kò ní kúrò nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, tó bá kúrò, tá a bá dẹ̀ ní ó máa kúrò, tí ò bá kúrò ń bẹ̀, kò síbi tí a fẹ́ léra wa lọ. Ìyẹn ni number one tí èmi fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ sí ní orí ń bẹ̀. Tá a bá ló máa kúrò, tí ò bá kúrò, kò síbi tá a fẹ́ léra wa lọ. Tán bá ní omi ti rò pọ̀ mọ́ ẹja, ẹja sì ti rò pọ̀ mọ́ omi, àbí omi ti rò pọ̀ mọ́, àbí kí ló ṣe máa ń sọ, ẹ má bínú tí n bá mọ òwe yẹn pa dáadáa. Number one tó jẹ́ important tó dẹ̀ yẹ kókó, ẹ má bínú tí n bá sọ èdèlédè sí àárín ọ̀rọ̀ mi, ẹ má bínú sí mi please, ẹ má bínú. Number one tó jẹ́ kókó jù ní àárín wa nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà, òun náà ni ìfẹ́. Tí ìfẹ́ bá wà ní àárín wa, tẹ́ bá wo àwọn baba wa, ìfẹ́ yẹn náà ni wọ́n fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ títí tí débi tí a dé ní èní. Ṣùgbọ́n èmi lè ṣe, torí mo ti ṣe debate sí lórí ní àìmọye ìgbà ní orí ìkànnì yìí, pé kí ni problem kí ló fa ìdí wàhálà tí a ní ní ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà tí ó jẹ́ ìlú baba wa ní èní. Òun náà ni wípé mo sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ẹ̀sìn, mo dẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí àwọn ìjọba wa nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà. Ṣé àwọn ni problem, ṣé àwọn ni ìṣòro tí wọ́n kó bá wa nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà lénìí? Ṣùgbọ́n púpọ̀ nínú àwọn èèyàn ni wọ́n sọ wípé àwọn ìjọba òun náà ni ìṣòro tí a ní, nítorí wípé tá bá wo ẹ̀sìn méjèèjì àbí ẹ̀sìn mẹ́ta ẹ̀sìn mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin àbí ẹ̀sìn márùn-ún tí a ní nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà lénìí, gbogbo wọn pápátá òun ni wọ́n kó sí abẹ́ ìjọba tó jẹ́ ìjọba Nàìjíríà. Kò sí agbára kankan tí ẹ̀sìn kankan ní tó kọjá ìjọba Nàìjíríà ní gbogbo ibi káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé. Kì í sọ pé ní gbogbo àgbáyé. Òfin òun ni wọ́n máa ń gbé sí orí ẹ̀sìn. Wọ́n ní ìlú tí ò bá sí òfin, ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ò sí ńbẹ̀. Nítorí pé ìlú tí ò sí òfin ni ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà jẹ́. Ìlú tí ò sí òfin òun ni Nàìjíríà. Tí òfin bá wà ńbẹ̀, kò sí agbára àbí ọwọ́ tí ẹ̀sìn fẹ́ nà tí òfin ò ní gé. Ní ojúwòye ti tèmi, kò sí ọwọ́ kankan tí ìjọba fẹ́ tí òfin tí ẹ̀sìn, bóyá láyà ní ẹ̀sìn mùsùlùmí ni àbí ní ẹ̀sìn kìrìsìtẹ́nì ni.
Kí ayọ̀ máa kọ́ lè máa sọ fún Mubarak.
Ẹ má bínú. Ok, bóyá kí ẹ bá wa ṣe ògbufọ̀ fún ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo sọ, ẹ má bínú mà.
Mubarak, our host is saying that she believes that there's no way that we can separate at this juncture, because we're all intermingled culturally, intermarried, and so it's going to be a tough thing to now separate us. And she also believes that the problem is in the leadership and the laws, that if we have the right leaders that institute and implement laws, that those laws will be more powerful than religion. She believes that laws are capable of controlling religious fervor, religious fundamentalism.
Ok,
So let me just chip in. Nobody is saying Nigeria should separate. We are saying we have to give the option to either separate or choose to belong, because you can't belong and then still calling yourself another nation operating on another law like the Sharia law. So you have to be asked. That's the referendum. It's not like you are chased away. No, you are asked to want to belong or not.
Okay.
Let me say something. Even to me, Nigeria is even separate indirectly, because we are having like a two constitution governing a nation, one continent. The Nigeria have their law, and also the Northern have their Sharia law. So the country is divided indirectly or directly.
Sorry, can I quickly come in? Queen, please.
Okay, no problem, sir.
Thank
Kò
you.
sí
Thank you so
ìṣòro,
much.
ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ yín.
Oh, okay, Moki Bubole, Queen, Iron Man, Etolaye, Big Jones, Moki, everybody. Mubarak, yeah, Keke. Mubarak. Oh, Mubarak, are you back? At least,
Ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ yín, ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ yín, ó wà bí ó ń gbọ́ yín, ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ yín.
Can you hear me? Yeah, Keke.
Hello.
Yeah, get us some uncle.
Thank you.
In fact, I quite appreciate all you have said in your introduction. Because I just want to add to what Bijo said. Fixing the North. I think the first thing, because you started this movement, and if you really want to get this movement right, I think the best way to start is to start with the issue of Almajiris. Because if you don't do that, it's just like effort in futility. Because that is the basis. That is where they get their soldiers from. Because ignorance, when you have it, you have a kid, and at the age of 4 or 5 years, and you just throw that kid outside to go and fend, to go and stay under one scholar or one malam to be training. Without any proper guardians, no protection, nothing. You say I stay in the north for a while, so I know how these children, how they fend, and with the way a manner they run around the streets makes them, because the way of life, you can't compare a little child sent outside, sleeping outside in the cold, in the heat, or with a very harsh weather, compared to a child that is under the roof of our parents. You cannot compare that. So you can imagine the way Amanda, that child will grow up and the mind will be hardened so easily. And this child did not go to school, so it is easy to influence this child to do whatever, and it is whatever the malam. Because you made mention of something that if they did not find this man in Iran easily, if he have said, oh, everybody should go for jihad, everybody will follow suit. You understand? And the same thing, these little children, they are just very unfortunate, because they went into the wrong parents, and their parents decided to put them into a very awkward situation where ordinarily there's no human beings that should be fixed into that kind of situation. These children easily, they whatever the malams tell them is whatever they do. They do. So they don't have mind of their own, and there's no any education that can tell them, just like you now, that can tell you, oh no, this is wrong, this is right. No, they don't have that. Whatever the malam said, they follow. They just follow. And in the north there, you never can see any elite, or middle class that send their children to Almajiri. But none of these elites has come out to stop this barbaric act. None of them. Because
You are a Northerner, so you understand what I'm saying, because the way Amana these children lives, if that is not stopped, there's no way you can stop the problem in the north. There's no way you can stop the poverty. There's no way you can stop the crisis. There's no way you can stop the terrorism, because these children are just potential terrorists. You understand? Because easily they can be used for anything in that country. Please, what are you going to do about the issue of Almajiri? It is there in the north. It is very, very important that this barbaric way of life to children is being stopped. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your submission. I don't have much time. I don't know how long we could, because this is a whole topic on its own. This is my main work, ending Almajiri system. It has been on for 20 years, and I think it can never.
I don't know. Let me baby. I can be question me. Your question me. Man, mo kọ síbí o. Bí I can be your kosi. Toro le ko sọ pé òun ní pẹ́ lọ. Ṣé kí n fẹ́ kan sọ ẹ nǹkan ti tẹ̀dọ̀ tèmi pẹ̀lú ẹ̀? So kó lè dáhùn ẹ̀ papọ̀. Okay. Ní ìsìn báyìí pẹ̀lú situation gbogbo nǹkan tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí. Ṣé ó lérò yìí pé pẹ̀lú bí a ṣe wà ní ilẹ̀ ojú kan pẹ̀lú Mùsùlùmí, Kírísítẹ́nì, Haúsá, Fúlàní, Yíbò, Yorùbá, ṣé lọ́dọ̀ tiẹ̀ kí ni èrò ọkàn rẹ̀ pé Nàìjíríà ṣì lè bẹ́tà ní ìwọ̀nba bí ò tiẹ̀ pọ̀? Kí lòun rò nípa Nàìjíríà, ṣó ṣì lè bẹ́tà àbí kó tiẹ̀ ní kó dáa tán kó tiẹ̀ ṣe díẹ̀? Ẹ bá mi fi kún question yẹn, so bí NSM tó bá wá mo máa béèrè àwọn yòókù.
Okay, Mubarak, the host wants to know, do you think there's a way forward for Nigeria? Do you think Nigeria could be better, even a tad bit? Not completely, but, just move forward a little bit.
Yeah, the chances are still slipping away. The chances that we could have a better Nigeria is slipping away. It has slipped away like maybe 60 years ago, but we could say that from 1999, the chances are getting slimmer and slimmer. When you have one hope, then three, like this Almajiri issue, as long as we don't solve the Almajiri issue. On the last episode we had, I gave you the background history of the Almajiris. Maybe when next I come, I'll give you the background here. So this is a system that has.
Ọ̀rọ̀ àlùmọ́njìrì tó ń sọ yẹn sìn, ọ̀rọ̀ dẹ̀ pọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ Fúlàní ní àlùmọ́njìrì, àbí?
No.
Àwọn wo ló ń jẹ́ àlùmọ́njìrì?
Ọ̀rọ̀ Fúlàní bọ́.
Bí àwọn ọmọdé tó dọ̀gbé nínú ilé wọn, tọkọ lọ gbé ní tọkọ ń gbé lójú street.
Ṣé àwọn ọmọ Haúsá àbí àwọn ọmọ Fúlàní?
Barak, how much time do you have?
Àwọn ọmọ Haúsá, ṣé àwọn ọmọ Haúsá tó ń sùn sí títì tí wọ́n ń sùn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ títì àbí?
Just
kú ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀pọ̀ máa ń ṣe wọ́n bí àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké tá kó lọ lé kéwú.
Ẹ jẹ́ kó fún yín ní background history àwọn Almajiri. Please give them the background history of the Almajiri culture.
Yeah.
Okay, let me give you a summary. Almajiri system. You know those times that people are taking slaves, capturing people from other tribes. So the religion gave you that freedom to rape your slave. You can rape your slave. So what happens is that those slaves, grape, yeah. When you grape the slave, you reproduce. But those children are not really yours. They are less than your children. They are not considered fully free. And that from your slave can be promoted to what you call concubine. The concubine is better than the slave, but lower than the housewife. So that level, our children, especially since those children that you produced are not mainly from your tribe, but they are from people you hated. So you don't regard those children as your own. So what to do with them? You can't kill them. The chances you just send them. You can't do any. You have to just send them away. So you send them to a cleric and assume that they are joining that system for the good of the religion. because they are supposed to be groomed in that suffering. That suffering is what will make them tough, so that when they become the warriors, the soldiers of tomorrow, they will wage
Bí irú
war.
àwọn ọmọ tó máa ń sùn sábẹ́ gáràjì ní tó máa ń sùn sábẹ́ gáràjì àwọn máa sùn ká.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Bọ̀ wọ́n máa ń kọ́ wọn ní Islam àti àwọn òfin pàyànpàyàn yẹn.
So the children of the elite or the normal citizens hardly were allowed into that system, because that system is supposed to be those children that are unwanted. They are children from tribes that were just captured and raped. So that's a class in itself. Even now, if you notice, the people from the cities, those people in the towns and cities hardly allow that their children go there. Even though we don't have slaves anymore, but it's still people from that background that still send their children away for that Almajiri system. I tried to convince governors to ban the system, but they didn't. But I convinced Goodluck Jonathan in 2011. That's when he saw that he established 500 schools and immediately absorbed 200,000 children into those schools. And that was 2011. But Buhari came later and in 2011, now there are 12 to 14 million children. And as you said, there's no way, even now with our own resources, let us even budget the whole thing for education. The whole budget of Nigeria, put it in education, even go and bring those $40 billion and invest it in education. It will not be enough to educate the total number of out-of-school children all over Nigeria. You know, globally, we account for 30% of unschooled children, 30% globally. 30% are in Nigeria, and I would say 25% are in the north. And out of that 25%, I would say 20% are Almajiris. So we could see where the trend is going. And as I said, northern Nigeria had been ungovernable, but it's becoming increasingly dangerous. And the breakdown of law and order could happen anytime. The only saving grace is that there will be state police. This is what I hope would happen before that inevitability comes, so that we can at least have territory to protect. So this is just the brief background information about the Almajiris. It's not like we have not tried, but the system, they don't care. Like nobody cares, because they are inherently like the untouchables, children of former slaves and now children of the poor. So it has been like that, and it will continue to be like this. And there is, as long as this is the crop of leaders we have in the north, then it will never change. This is why people like us have to speak. But also the problem is, from the sister that was making a submission, I would say the problem we face is that the more you educate them, the more they want to buy you. You're trying to tell them this is the right way, and they're trying to harm you or imprison you or buy you. So it has been like that. But we still strive. We still strive to see what we can make out of the system before it's too late. Thank you.
Okay. Ta ló tún fẹ́ béèrè ọ̀rọ̀? Àwọn èèyàn wà ní comment section tí wọ́n fẹ́ béèrè ọ̀rọ̀. Bàbá Humanity, ó dẹ̀ pé ẹ ti béèrè question ti yín. Ẹ má bínú sá, ẹ máa lọ sí comment section. À ń gbọ́ yín. Yes, sir.
My brother, Mohammed, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, thank you.
I just want to ask you, what are the Hausas, what are the leaders doing to make sure that they take back their land back? Because a lot of people now call Hausa Fulani, and a lot of people are even confused. Do they still have Hausa people again in the north? So what are your leaders, especially the leaders of Hausa, what are they doing to take back their land from these Fulanis? Thank you.
Okay, I would say a lot is happening currently. There is awareness. But it has not reached that level that you could say the leaders are aware. It's just at the grassroots level. The beginning, you could say the beginning of the enlightenment. But it has not penetrated beyond the no local masses, just people online trying to create the awareness and then acknowledging that we exist, that there is a population that has been forgotten, in fact, even dismissed, that they don't exist.
Òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ṣe fẹ́ wá sókè ni.
But we are the
Òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ tẹ bá fẹ́ wá sókè ẹ
largest
click
ethnic group in the region.
guess kí n gbé yín sókè. Yeah.
Okay.
Torí mo rí àwọn
So
questions tẹ̀ ń kọ́.
in the forthcoming election,
Ẹ wá sókè ẹ click guess kẹ wá sókè.
are you sure the Hausa to want to vote for the APC, or are they going to vote for the APC, or they want to vote for another party?
Well, technically, you know that our votes don't count in Nigeria. You know, as long as you have governors, that's what happens. So, what I know would happen is that
you cut off.
Okay. So about 31 governors will make sure that votes are delivered to the president. The choices of people individually or collectively will not make much difference, really. And of course, we also, we are very hungry, and there will be spaghetti, there will be bags of rice, oil, and 200 naira. And
it's already happening already, because I saw one of the imam in the north on Twitter. They said they brought in 500 billion naira to come give to them so that they could support the president coming election. Which he himself rejected. He said rejected that they should not come to him to pay money. So all this imam, hello, who is that? Please, can you pause? All this imam in the north, are they the Hausas or the Fulani?
That's an easy question. A Hausa man cannot be an imam where there's a Fulani.
Okay. I don't know of that, but I know that precedence is given to the Fulani, yes, especially when it comes to this kind of leadership. Just like if there is a Hausa person, that person has precedence to say a Yoruba person. And then later, maybe you could say to a Middle Belton and then to Igbo. It's always like that. Tribe also counts. What I knew when I was growing up is that you just know that these people are not Muslim enough. It doesn't matter how long their beard is or how short their trouser is. Tribe is better, And it's also the same with the Arabs. They don't consider us blacks. They don't consider us valid in that kind of. We are still number two. Even in paradise, they said we will be number two, not number one. There will be water to wash the blackness out of us. If you notice that even the virgins of paradise are white people, they always emphasize that there are light-skinned girls with big boobs. You will never hear that there is a black girl as part of those virgins in paradise. And all our men are doing is trying to get to those virgins. They don't care about their wives and our mothers and our sisters. All we want is to go and get those white girls.
In paradise.
Of course.
Somebody said in the comment section that there are no.
Ṣe jẹ́ kí àwọn tó wà lókè béèrè question. So wọ́n lè máa lọ sísàlẹ̀. So àwọn èèyàn lè béèrè wá sókè. Tọ́lá tó fẹ́ béèrè question, thank you. Baba, word of God, ẹ máa lọ sí comment section.
I have something to say.
Okay.
Yeah, we were talking about referendum Mubarak said something about referendum. I know a lot of people do not align with the way Nnamdi Kanu, we all know Nnamdi Kanu, the way he speaks might be harsh, it might be, his words might be too much for some people to handle. But this is the same thing he always teaches on his platform. These are the things he always talks about. And today here we are discussing these things. He has said a lot of things before now. But we want the Yorubas to go outside this, but then they don't want to go with what he has said. Today everybody's calling for his head. Oh, he's locked up. Now he should go and fight for himself. Things like that. But these are the things that he has said before now. We just don't pay attention. And that's my problem with a lot of us in Nigeria. We do not pay attention until things have already happened. We now start saying, oh, this person said it before now. This, that before now. You understand? I mean, I wouldn't be that, but I'm just, it's a reminder.
I think I'm going to question one in Shoki, please and please. Ta ló tún fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ jọ̀ọ́, question yín ní ṣókí. Baba Hausa voice. Unmute yourself, please.
We can't hear you.
How about now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I joined the.
Fading in and out.
Your voice is too low.
Or maybe you remove your headset.
Ubali, bere question. Bere question to your network.
Okay, my own question is that I heard him saying that that the Almajiris, that some people grave them and then they produce the Almajiris. Can he expatiate on that?
Okay, thank you. So what I'm trying to say is that the Almajiris were children of those slaves that were reproduced, but they are not fully citizens. So they are just sent to Qatar for themselves. The father doesn't care much about them. It's not that like they are his children fully. He did not marry the wife. So that's how it started. He doesn't care about them because they are also from the same tribe. So as low as filthy he considers the mother, that's how he considers her issue, even if it came from his graping. So that's how they chased them away, and then they became something else. But Nigeria should have learned a lesson.
Click request, get less, so automatic okay.
So in 1980, we had Maitasine riots. Maitasine riots consumed 10,000 lives. But after the inquiry, we just shoved away the revolt. This is a cleric that has taken his Almajiris, taught them that they should rise and take over the government and establish Sharia law, or return the country or the region back to Islamic rule, bringing back the caliphate, because the British has left and the military has left. So that's the problem. But instead, because he's a cleric, he's just an outlier cleric, nobody paid attention. But that was when we were supposed to ban Almajiri system. I believe back then there were less than 1 million. Maybe there were less than 1 million then. They could have banned it, but then they became 6 million. They became 8 million. And now we are hearing they are 12 to 14 million.
Well, I think I've gotten what I wanted to hear, sir. My question is, who are the slave masters and who are the slaves that were gripped?
Okay, the Middle Belters. The Middle Beltans were the ones that were captured those times. You could say the ones that did not convert to Islam. Those were the ones that Islam, under Sharia law, legalized that you could enslave. So anybody that is a Muslim, you cannot raid that community and enslave them, but you can raid any community of pagans or people, especially people that you could now call the Middle Beltans. So the ones that were surviving are the ones that you could say that. So you could just say that it's the Fulani that created that this thing. But also Hausa were also guilty because Hausa were Muslims and they wanted
I've gotten what you said. Can I come in? I've gotten your answer.
Yeah.
So me that I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
I have brothers who give birth to their children and they give out their children willingly for Almajiris. So what you are saying about Almajiris is totally incorrect.
Oh, but he was talking about the history, earlier history of Almajiranchi, not today.
Let me learn.
Not today. The early history, before you and I were born.
Finish. Let him finish.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that Almajiris is created to continue to make people to hate Western education, to only believe in Arabic education, which has brought nothing to the Hausa people, because the Hausas are the majority who are doing this Almajiri of a thing, because the people who are with the leadership, their own children are going to better school abroad. So Almajiri is just a way to continue to make our people not to know who they are, not to be educated, to know Western education and know who they are and where they are and where they are going to. Because there's no way you will be educated and know your left and right that you will not ask questions on what you are seeing. So this is something the Fulanis were the one that created it to continue. I don't believe in this history that you are saying.
WhatsApp, please.
Okay, thank you. At least you have the modern this thing, but whatever maybe perception you have for Almajiris today, you don't have the genesis. And I gave you the genesis. It's up to you to go and do your own research and maybe come up with maybe I don't know what I don't know what arrive at, but in sincerity, I could say you don't even understand what Almajiri is doing now. Almajiri of today, currently, is not somebody that is being just taught that Arabic. It's not about Arabic. It's Quran. It's the study of the Quran. And even to this day, they don't know, but in reality, it's about when the jihad comes, when they are called upon, they would rise and become the armies of Allah. And this is what, the Boko Haram that you know, if you remember, Boko Haram's mother, Abubakar Shekal's mom, was interviewed by the VOA. She said his dad, her husband, is an imam. And he removed his son from a primary school and he sent him to the Maiduguri so that he could become an Almajiri. And immediately, Boko Haram started. These are the people that come to form the first basic fighters under commanders. So the clerics will become commanders, and then the children or the youngsters will become the foot soldiers. But you don't know the genesis. And I did my research. I've spent 20 years of my life on this issue, and I've been advocating. I don't know what you have done so far.
But sir, somebody asked you a question as someone from the north. The person said the imams in the north, are they Fulanis or Hausas? And you said you don't know. There's no way you will be a northerner and you don't know who are the imams in the north. You said you don't know.
Okay, let me ask again. Please repeat. Let me understand. What did he ask me again?
A man asked you that those imams in the north, who are in the leadership of Islamic religion in the north, he asked you, are they Hausas or Fulanis? You said you don't know. As a northerner, you are supposed to know.
They are Hausa or they are Fulani. Does that answer the question? Or they are both Hausa and Fulani? I didn't know, in Hausa they say there is something they call erkore. I didn't know it's about erkore. It's about sincerity. If you could connect the facts or the dots. I don't want to ascribe any tribe to these kind of things. But if it is about erkore or like an exam that one must answer or one must pass or one must give the accuracy of that distance, then I could join you in your conjecture. But
Mubarak, let me speak to Ubali. Ubali, there is something I want you to understand. Today in northern part of Nigeria, you can see there are mosques let me use this word. There are a lot of Fulani clerics, right? But then again, this saying that they will say Hausa Fulani, you can see an Hausa person, but you go and look at his family, he has Fulani in it. That is most people that always come out to say, Muda Hausa, Bab one day is a Yaraba. Nobody can separate us from Hausas, you understand? They claim to be Hausas, but they have families who are Fulani too. So they continue to stay in that shadow that, oh, nobody can separate us just because you have a Fulani person as a cousin or this or that, you understand? But that cleric of a thing, you have Hausa clerics and you have Fulani clerics. But if you go and check out the Hausa clerics, you see that they are mixed. Also, they are mixed with those Fulani blood and stuff, which some of them don't come out to speak about some things that are happening like this. Things like this that are happening. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Okay, let me give 2 sentences to close the matter. Anybody can become a cleric. Anybody, as long as you are Muslim. Exactly. As long as you are Muslim, as long as you pass through the system. So the Al-Majri of today is the cleric of tomorrow.
Please, okay.
Also, voice, your voice is not voice, you know.
Voice your okay, ko clear látẹ̀kan. Bóyá earpiece ló ń lò ní.
Also, voice, remove your earpiece, speak directly into your phone.
Ó dà pé kí ni fóònù ẹni ò wá okay. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tap ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá fẹ́ béèrè question. Kó tó di pé.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mo ní ìbéèrè fún Dunari Baba.
Mo ń gbọ́ yín o, Big Joseph, mo ń gbọ́ yín o.
Kí ni perspective yín nípa Sharia? Did you support it or you say no to it?
I don't.
I don't
support Sharia.
You don't support the Sharia?
Yeah, I don't. And I have spoken about that. I am someone who is, I mean, if you go on my pages, you're going to see I've spoken about stuff like in Nigeria, their own Sharia. Even if you go to places like Saudi today, hold on.
Answer my question.
Hold on. If you go to Saudi Arabia today, yeah, you're going to see that majority of them are Muslims and they use Sharia law, which it suits them. Let them use their thing. But in a place like Nigeria, you cannot, and it will not happen, which I do not support. I don't know if I'm clear.
Okay. If you do not support the Jews, the fruit of a tree, then why every day you are going to wet the tree? But the fruits that come out from that tree, you don't want to eat it, you don't like it, but every day you wake up and you are still wetting that tree.
Let me ask you, Big Jason, what are you? Do you practice any religion?
I'm African. How can I be religious?
You're African. Okay, I'm African also. Everybody has a choice. Like I said, it's a choice. No. You cannot say that. Everybody has a choice. Wait, do you believe that someone created you? Wait, no. Because sometimes you guys always look at people just because I'm practicing Islam.
Hello, Mr. Doman yes, Baba, please. Ẹ jẹ́ ká dá ẹni tí gbé wá ní ohùn. So tó bá kù àárín ara wa ká máa bá ọ̀rọ̀ wa lọ, please. So okay, ma.
If you believe Adam and Eve are your ancestors, you are half caste. You are not a full African. You are not a full Yoruba. You are not a full Igbo. You are not a full Hausa. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay. Thank you, ma. Tọ́lá tí bá béèrè question so kí a lè tètè máa tẹ̀síwájú ní orí program wa, please. Tọ́lá tí bá béèrè question ní comment section. Okay, ẹ̀yin ẹ má bínú ẹ tí béèrè question láti ẹ̀kan. À ń gbọ́ yín.
Gbọ́ yín dáadáa o, ẹ bá ètò láyé.
Ó ti wà okay. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
All right.
I
I'm
have a
having a
small
show
question.
based on Islamic ideologies. We have like 41 to 42 ideologies under Islam. We have Sufi ideology, Shia ideology,
Oh yeah, ma, but
Salafi
okay.
ideology,
Any small
Sunni
question?
ideology, and so many and so on. Each all this ideology is very different, and each one of them have their jihadists. You know, this is how dangerous to the citizens and to the Muslims themselves. What do you think about this? And do government know about this? So that is the question I want to ask Mr. Mubarak.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I could say maybe if there's small understanding you have of the Quran, and if all these ideologies are deriving their teachings from the Quran, then the decision is clear. The Quran was very clear about Sharia and about jihad. Muslims like currently that exist under an Islamic caliphate, such as the Taliban, are the ones that will make it to paradise. All others are not maybe making it to paradise. Even Saudi Arabia, even Iran, because have mixed the religion with some form of governance that Allah did not send. Allah said clearly in the Quran, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. In another verse, it says, فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. In another verse, فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. Whoever does not judge according to what Allah has sent is a kafir. That's actually what it means. We are not making it to paradise as long as you don't rule with the Sharia. But how does Sharia operate? Sharia does not just operate between prayer and fasting. Sharia operates with jihad, waging war. So it's the fact that you exist in another man's country or in a country where you have minority. There are stages that you have to achieve. Maybe takia, maybe do this, do that, try to take over the system until you have the numbers to overturn it and establish that caliphate. So you have that agenda there. That's what Nigerian effort is all about. The North wants to take over Nigeria quietly, and you are not too docile. You have refused to be quiet about it. It's not really, the country doesn't really care about your religion as long as you want to coexist. But Islamic religion does not recognize coexistence, and that's the blackmail Muslims in Nigeria are facing. They cannot make paradise until they make the country ungovernable. So that's the problem. They want to make Allah happy, or at least go to Allah and say that they have made their own effort, or they have tried.
Nigeria,
so if they're in the banking system, they would try to bring Sharia Jaiz system, where there is no interest, there is not this, there is not that. If they are soldiers, they are supposed to work for Allah, or at least advance the interests of Islam gradually, so that it will take here, take there, take there, take there. But these are the ones that are rational enough. The ones that are not rational enough are the ones that want it today and now. Those are the ones that you call jihadists or terrorists, because they don't care about any method. They know that standing order is there, establish a caliphate. And they don't care, especially if we outnumber the other Nigerians by birth rate and by numbers and by violence and by by maybe owning weapons and stuff like that. So they want to upturn it. Even if they cannot upturn Nigeria, let me tell you the doctrine of Boko Haram. They thought they don't have to take over Nigeria, but they can take over Maiduguri, then take over Borno, then take over Adamawa, Taraba, Yobe, Bauchi, Jigawa, like it could encroach. But they were counting on something that as long as Muslims exist in Nigeria and they see that they are successful, let's say in Borno State, then people will rise. To their shame, to their disappointment, those Muslims in the other states did not rise. So that's why they started killing the clerics. That's why they started killing Muslims, buying Muslims.
F1.
Yeah. So they started buying Muslims because Muslims refused to join while they know this is the doctrine. So you are in Sokoto, you are doing this, and you knew, if you notice Abubakar Shekau's videos, he would keep reminding you, Usman Danfodio did it, this one did it, the Prophet did it, we are doing it, why can't he join us? So if you see them bombing mosques and bombing this, is because people have frustrated them that they don't want to join. But since Muslims know that this is the doctrine, you have to rise and make an effort to establish a caliphate and an Islamic state. You have to try or die trying. So that's the problem. That's why we want Nigeria to have a referendum. If they really take this thing serious, let them have their own country. Let them do it. Maybe Hausa, Fulani, Kanuri could establish a Sharia belt in the Sahel. They can even join with those in the Niger Republic. Then they can lead the ones that want to exist and choose life, to take their own destiny in their own hands. But also, you should know that Sharia is not about just a frozen state. It's about an expansion. So after you establish that state, you are supposed to now start disseminating and expanding, or maybe conquering other lands, so that the whole world becomes Islamic. That's the doctrine. So Islam is not just about prayer and fasting, and then maybe giving alms. No, it comes with all the politics. You have to take it like that, or you discard the Quran. And if you discard the Quran, you can't make heaven, and you can't go and take those virgins. And the virgins are plenty. Everybody is supposed to look forward to meeting them.
Again, this is the reason why I have been trying as much as possible to tell people that Abrahamism is not just about your spirituality. It is about one world government through one world religion. Those people that are spreading religion, they are not spreading it because they love you. They don't know you. They're spreading it because that's what was handed to them in their holy books, that they must spread it. And if you look back in history, who are the people that wrote these holy books? Yes, they say it is God inspired, but it is written in ink by the hands of humans, right? So the ultimate goal of Abrahamism is domination everywhere in the world. And their very root, or should I say, their very root, the very beginning of Abrahamism started with Judaism. It was Judaism that gave birth to Christianity and then gave birth to Islam. They have they're branches of the same tree. And at the upper echelons of leadership, world leadership, all those leaders of Saudi Arabia, of Israel, of Europe, they work in one accord. They are together in this, whether you like it or not. You people that are practicing the religions, you are nothing but their foot soldiers. So be wise, people. Thank you.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question, Mubarak? Can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
We know that Trump came to bomb.
F1, Baba, Kisha, don't be by.
Sorry.
F1, please.
We know that Trump came to do some certain things in Sokoto. What was the reaction of the Hausas in that area when this thing happened? Was the reaction negative or positive?
It's negative, of course, because we don't even like the minister just took over, and immediately you saw Northerners warning him that he cannot come and end the terrorism. He cannot come and fight the terrorists. He even said, one professor,
please.
He even,
Yeah,
so he even said you cannot come and do this thing against our people. He called them our people, and everybody is now said to have said, these are our people, these are our brothers. So we don't want the terrorism to end per se, but we want them not to buy us. We want them to buy those ones that Allah said they should buy. Like they're supposed to go and venture out and conquer lands and resources, not on us. So you don't see our people crying if Osama bin Laden did something in New York, or if now Iran is doing something in another country. We love it. We love the jihad. This is our people. This is the Islamic mentality. You love jihad. You love that destruction and that carnage. Just that it shouldn't happen in your own backyard. What they hate is that it's happening on them. As even Boko Haram, if they were not touching them, if they were not harming the society, they wouldn't care if they were doing their thing in Plateau or they migrated and did it on another people. They would celebrate it. In fact, it was celebrated whenever they were doing it on the military. People were celebrating them. So September 11th happened and our people were celebrating. When Hamas was doing its own thing, October 7th in Gaza, in Israel, they were celebrating. Even now, you go online, you see them celebrating Iran. So why would they be happy that Donald Trump is coming to buy their own people, their own region? No. In fact, they are saying that he did not do it on.
In the name of religion, they are sending their children to go and learn about the Quran very well. So that is why you can see somebody from Sokoto, Katsina, Jigawa sending their children to Maiduguri or any other part of the northern part to for this Almanjiri stuff. So just like what you said, your own efforts speaking through the governors, because they are the one that could do that, could stop that, because when they stop that Almanjiri system, because they have the class will not do that. But they have these foot soldiers, that are uneducated to use for whatever stuff they want to do in order to continue to be in power. So that is why people like you have to continue to make efforts in order to stop this Almanjiri system. And come about the issue of Boko Haram. When it started in Maiduguri, they started buying the Northerner, the Southerner, and the Christians. So, like you said, you rightly said, the people, the Muslim then, and the Christians there, then they now fell back to there, and that is why you are having the crisis there in the north today. So, like Iron Man said, you see the problem there is this Abrahamic religion. If we don't have this Abrahamic religion in Nigeria, Nigeria will have been so peaceful. So that is why when people are advocating for this Abrahamic religion to be stopped, to be put to an end, for people to realize that you don't really need the religion before you live your life, before you you become something in life. Because when you look at all these things that they said in the religion, in the reality, you know, it makes no sense. There's no common sense. Anybody that has common sense, you know that most of all these are just things that people just people's ideology they just use in enslaving people and enslaving your mind so that you cannot think straight and you can continue to fight yourself. So it's like tools like a divide and rule tools that some people use in order to do so. Along with what you are doing, I think it is very important that people go out of all this Abrahamic religions so that they be able to focus in the reality of life. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can you give me a question, please?
Yeah, please, I have a question.
Okay, I'm going.
Yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity. So my question is about Nigeria as a whole. So, and it has to do with the northern, educated in North. I believe North is part of Nigeria. So whatever that happens in the North affects everyone in the country, including the Yoruba. So my own question to you now is that, do you think secession or division is the solution to Nigeria? And if not, how do you think Nigeria can live in peace and unity? Thank you, sir.
Please come again with your question.
Like what question tí mo béèrè náà ni? Okay, ó fẹ́ jọ náà ni.
Okay.
Ẹ padà béèrè.
Okay, so I believe that my question is about Nigeria as a whole. So I'm not talking about educating the Northerners, because I believe that the North is part of Nigeria, and whatever that affects the North affects everyone in the country. So I'm now saying, do you think division of the country is the best solution? And if not, how do you think Nigeria can live in peace and unity?
Okay, thank you. I got you. Problem is that the North that you know is not really the only problem. Further north, if you go further north, you have Niger Republic, which is also 99% Islamic, or at least 90% Islamic. Then you have Mali, then you have Burkina Faso, then you have Chad. So even if, for example, there is this division, and Nigeria is very porous, and then they chose to leave the Islamic state they want, then what happens to the south or the central Nigeria? People will still be in poverty, and they will still want to come and live in the south to work, to earn some money, or to earn a living. Or if the insecurity continues, maybe for safety. So you still suffer the same problem, whether northern Nigeria is in Nigeria, or whether Islamic northern Nigeria is out of Nigeria by referendum or by choice, and they want to have their own Taliban system. It will come back to haunt us. That's the problem. So the best thing is to educate the region that they don't need religion. They don't need that fanatical religion. You could be as religious as Dubai is, or as religious as maybe the Philippines is, just try and be religious without harming the other. But it's a tough thing. If you know that the terrorism that they are suffering in Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso is worse, far worse than what is happening in northern Nigeria, but it's all coming to roost in the north. So whether we are in one country or whether we are separate, then the regions of the central Nigeria and the regions of the south will still suffer whatever happens on the Sahel, really. So the effort is to educate the people in the north about modernity, because that's what we are lacking in the north, modernity. Fanaticism with the
religion. Question yín bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, Mr. Ṣẹ́gun, ẹ tún kọ sí kò ká comment nísàlẹ̀.
Yeah, so that is it. So,
okay, sir. So how do you now think we can live in unity and peace?
For now, the trajectory is that we are heading towards oblivion in the north, and the problem is that we are dragging the whole country with us. So the government has to wake up. But I know that not these current politicians, they can't wake up. The only hope is that we are here, we have a voice, and we constitute the largest number by demographics in population. Youth, you could say people from 50 or 55 to, let's say, 20 years old. These are the category that will have to take their own destiny. So we have to be very vocal, very active, and take over the country, and then maybe change the destiny, change the trajectory.
Bóyá tó bá lọ lámà torí ó ti
Yes,
kò ní
Mubarak
pẹ́.
just cut me off. Okay.
Kí lẹ sọ mà?
Go on. Only 50, 55, and 20. Cut our off.
No, I beyond that, your ancestors, we are just the ones that we could say.
No, not your ancestor. Don't do that.
No, try, look.
Kí ló dé ẹ̀rù gbà yín?
Goodluck Jonathan just said beyond 50, you are not supposed to even leave Nigeria. Beyond 50, and we have 60-year-olds calling themselves youth. A 60-year-old.
I am a youth. Tinubu guy is a youth. President in Nigeria gan youth ni. Ibi tó ti sọ wà, I am a youth. Only youth lòun. Video ló ti sọ wà, only youth ni.
Yeah, please.
Mubarak,
Question. So,
can I ask a question, Mubarak?
Yes, ask.
Okay, what are you? If the Hausas said you people say you are doing something, what are you doing in terms of your Hausa men marrying these Fulani women? No, you are already into each other. So what are you doing to the generation that is coming that you must not marry from this Fulani in order to save your population? What are you guys doing?
Okay, firstly, on a personal level, I am Hausa and Fulani. This is like an identity, like you can't, as I said, there is no one in the north that doesn't have the mix of Hausa or Fulani. And I would prefer we intermarry more so that there will be no difference, you know. Africa is defined by tribalism, but we want it vanished. How does it vanish? By intermarriage. If we can intermarry with each other, then maybe we don't have to kill each other. Why is it that there is no religious killing?
Ṣé mọ̀ pé question tí mo bèrè lẹ́ẹ̀kan nìyẹn pé báwo la ṣe fẹ́ kúrò láàrin ara wa àti rò pọ̀ mọ́ra wa? Ṣé gbọ́n tó sọ ní ìsìn pé òun náà Fúlàní lòun àti Haúsá lòun ṣe ti rí?
So there is a hate.
Ṣé ti rí bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn question tí mo bèrè lẹ́ẹ̀kan nìyẹn?
That we don't want to see in
Kò sí
people
bá ṣe fẹ́ ṣe. Ẹ jẹ́ kó máa sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ lọ. Tó bá ti ṣe tán, máa sọ̀rọ̀ wa lọ.
So the matter is not about intermarriage. In fact, that's the solution. If you could intermarry, then you would be family. Why do you think France stopped fighting England?
Tẹ́ bá bi léèrè ní ìsìn pé ṣé fẹ́ kí Fúlàní parun? Àǹtí ẹ lè bi léèrè pé ṣé ó fẹ́ kí Fúlàní ẹni sùúrù ẹ máa gbọ́ o. Ẹ bi léèrè pé ṣé ó fẹ́ kí Fúlàní parun ní Nàìjíríà? Ẹgbọ́n tó máa sọ.
Do you want Fulani gone from Nigeria?
For life.
Okay, let me tell you, there are indigenous Fulani and there are people coming in later, you know. So the ones that have already
Fulani is Fulani.
are supposed to be.
Kò sí Fulani indigene. No Fulani indigene. No Fulani. No Fulani indigene in Nigeria. No Fulani indigene.
What I know is that for centuries there are settled
tribes.
But
mi kò fẹ́ ká lọ bẹ̀ yẹn ni. Question tí mo kọ sílẹ̀ pọ̀ mi kò fẹ́ ká lọ bẹ̀ yẹn ni. So ló yẹ kí ara ló yẹ kí béèrè question àkọ́kọ́ yẹn lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Ìwọ tó ń kọ́mẹ̀tì yẹn máa gbá ẹ ní blocking. Ṣé orí ẹ̀ ò burú? Ṣé mo sọ̀rọ̀ látàárọ̀ ń bí? Mo sọ̀rọ̀ ń sòdè ń sọ pé fún ìpín aláò ẹni tó sọ̀rọ̀ kó flow ayé bàbá ẹ̀ ò ní dáa. Ṣé látàárọ̀ tí mo ti wà bí more than 3 hours ṣé mo sọ̀rọ̀ ni? Bàbá ẹ̀ àti ìran ẹ̀ máa ń yóò dín ní. Kí ló kọ́ ẹ pẹ̀lú kan tí mò ń ṣe ń bí? Ó ṣì èrè ni ṣé mo pè ẹ́ síbí ni?
Okay.
Adé máa sọ̀rọ̀ máa ní kí n dákẹ́ fún kí ni?
But wait, please, let me ask you a quick question. You said that it is impossible if we do separation. What about?
Ẹ lè má gbèpè sórí.
About what?
state police?
First thing that people can fall back to if the federation cannot hold, people can at least have a semblance of a state. Without a state police, when the federal is gone, then it's free for all. Maybe we'll have a Rwanda 1994 situation. But with state police, maybe we can save that destiny, that we don't have to suffer lawlessness because the federal is no more.
But you, the Fulani don't want state police. You don't want state police.
So what I'm already been
Baba or state police, question, please. State police, no state police.
Because he said that if they divide Nigeria, you still have Chad, you still have Niger. So he said
that is not what he said. You are not understanding him. What he said was those people that want to follow the Islamic State can form it with those people in that religion.
And yes.
That's what he said.
Wait now, I understand.
Okay, hold on, both of you.
Please,
hold on.
please.
Maybe you can hear him properly. Hold on, please, Solly. He said that even if the 3 northern states that I want to be fully immersed in Al-Sharia, if they go on and merge with Niger and other northern African states, that because the basis of the religion is expansion, we will still not have peace in southern Nigeria.
Yes, I understand. My question is mainly about southern Nigeria because it was seeming like it is inevitable. So my question is that if it's inevitable, can something like state police stop it? At least.
That's what he's advocating for, that every state has their police, so that when these people rise, at least there'll be somebody to defend us.
Exactly, that's what he's saying.
No, but he never mentioned state police. That's why.
He said so. Maybe you weren't here then.
Listen.
Okay, I wasn't here.
Sorry, my own question is more like in 2 weeks. I'm actually happy that you've already acknowledged that the North is there. The Hausas are like going into oblivion and more or less like dragging others to it. I won't go to that axis, but I want to say something about the efforts, what you are actually putting in to educate your people. Because I see it, people are saying you educate them. Fine, we've seen it that it can't be easily won. So even do it is going to be hard. But the angle I want to suggest that you can actually come in is because I notice that even the outsiders have already lost their identity. And this religion, what religion does is the first thing they do is they take away your identity. I have met a Yoruba man in Spain here. For like 3 months, we were working in the same place because the name he was bearing was an Islamic name, and Spain doesn't speak.
They
speak in Spanish. We speak in Spanish. He has been there for like months. It was the day that he spoke. He spoke in Yoruba on phone that I realized that this person is from my tribe, because the name was Islamic. At that moment, he has actually lost his identity because nobody from outside we come to him and he will mention his name. I'm Farouk, so and so. So Islamic name. Everybody will be thinking probably he's from Gambia or whatever. Are you getting me? The angle I'm actually looking at is even if you want to like talk to your people or probably you want to orientate your upcoming ones, but these upcoming ones you want to orientate, you want to enlighten. They actually don't even know their roots, where they're actually coming from. They don't even know anything about Hausa. Okay, currently right now, I can tell you that even me, that I grew up now, I don't even know if you have a traditional stool in that north. All we know is Emia. Those children, they grew up to know Sultan and Emia. No history, no nothing about Hausa origin. Nothing that can even show them that this is what their forefathers laid down for them. They grew up in this religion. They knew that their name is this one is this. So if you now go to them and tell them that, no, this religion, this part is not good, this part is good. Okay, the next thing they'll tell you is, what do you think we should do next? What do you expect us to do if we drop this? Are you getting my point? What I'm trying to say is, how can you educate your people to go back to their roots, to even understand where they are coming from? Because most of them now believe that they are even Fulani, Hausa Fulani. I grew up, I'm in like my late 40s now. What I heard when I was growing up is Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, major ethnic. I didn't even know Fulani. Now it's Hausa Fulani. I can't differentiate from Hausa. I can't differentiate from Fulani. You understand? That's, the moment you lose your roots, you lose where you are coming from. That religion has wiped away all that one. Then the next thing is they take over. As at now, no governor is an Hausa man. I don't know, you might correct me. As at now, all traditional tools has been taken over by the emirs. As at now, they are just organizing the grassroots. But the upper echelon now will not even allow it. I understand, but I think you should just attack the history, try and orientate the little ones you can do, then others will spread it. Because if you don't bring back your history, there's nothing they can fall back on. That's mine. You can actually educate us if you have any troll. Probably you can give us the name of a particular traditional throne in the north. Probably we can even know, like in Yoruba now, we know we have Oba, we have Olubadan, we have this. It is still our own heritage, though we know the Islamic cleric are now ridiculing that throne now. But now we are rising up to it. If you don't rise up to yours, then you will not know your roots. That is the way I see it. So please, you can say something on that. That is it.
And another thing I want to ask, are you a Fulani or an Hausa man?
I am Hausa, but what I'm trying to say is that there is no Hausa man that doesn't have that maybe genetic attachment, because there has been intermarriage for centuries, 2 centuries or 3 centuries. So there has to be that blood is there. So I prefer that we just call ourselves human, because for me, I'm a humanist. I don't want tribalism. I don't want racism to define humanity. I prefer inclusivity.
Inclusivity is wiping out your history, your heritage, your culture. There's no.
I'm coming to that. Okay. So part of what took me to jail was that I was advocating for African traditional religion in Kano. There was a goddess called Sumburbura. Part of one of the sentences that earned me 5 years is because I said we want our people to return to worship of that goddess. So by the fact that I could mention that goddess and recognize the original religion, the indigenous religion of Hausa people pre-Islam, I was a heretic, and